Back here at Centerpoint High School, just about game time here as Fountain Lake heads on the road to take on the Knights, looking to avenge a loss from last year. But this is a much different Cobra animal. Tracy, we didn't get to finish our keys to the game a moment ago. Yep. One thing that we haven't talked about at all tonight for the Cobras was that high-powered offense. Cooper Buss dealing with just a bit of a strain in his hand from last week at Smackover. Got a positive report on the QB coming into tonight's game. And man, the double threat, the triplets, like Coach Matt Richardson says, with Buss, Case here, and Peyton Harwood, this is a three-headed monster that's going to go to the next level. All three of them are going to be playing on Saturdays one day. Really, really fun to watch, and a really pivotal part of this offense and their offensive game plan tonight.
Yeah, it's all a key into it, because here's what really the emphasis is on that, Mark, is that just as the opposing team starts to key in on those, well, we see the likes of the other kids start to come alive. You know, we've seen Williams on some great runs and such. So it's not all just, the triplets, which, I mean, they are right now 75% of the, of what we've got on offense. But here's the kicker right now, though, too. You saw a little bit of the running game come alive last week against a very good Smackover team. And obviously against Cutter, there was no doubt about that, over 200 yards of rushing. I think right now it is one of the biggest deals. Cutter was one thing, Smackover was another. Centerpoint's a team that has to be on the field with their offense. They don't want their defense on there. They've had a lot of points scored on them already. And the key to us is taking time off the clock a little bit more. Now, they run a traditional 4-2 defense. So they're obviously going to have the outside linebacker keying in at one point any of the one that sets up in the slot. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to keep, somebody, Harwood or whoever the case is, and from, going downfield. So he's going to bump him a little bit. And then, of course, he's going to try to keep that short pass, the screen that we do all the time. There's nothing new to these days. We can talk about it right now because they see this automatically as soon as we play the game that night, Mark. So, and there's nothing to it. They know we're going to throw that screen pass, that little bubble out there. So, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to bring that outside linebacker up and try to just, get in the mess of that and make a mess of it is what they're going to try to do, Mark.
Down on the field, we're ready for the coin toss for tonight's battle. Fountain Lake dressed in their road uniforms, white tops, purple bottoms, purple numbers and letters. The home team, the Centerpoint Knights, dressed in all purple tops and bottoms with gold numbers and letters. Your team captain for Fountain Lake, the senior captain, number 13, Devin Williams. And your team captains for Centerpoint tonight will be number 0, Dustin Cox, and number 62, Dominic Parrish. We'd like to welcome everybody to the broadcast tonight. And Tracy, something that we started last week, we want to remind the fans of as well. The text line is open during the game. You can text us a message.
Yep.
Keep it nice. River's watching.
He's listening in.
Listen, River can handle it. Let's be honest.
He's catching them for us. So it comes to 7-year-old first, gang. Okay.
501-915-1300.
Yep.
Fountain Lake has won the coin toss down in the field. The Cobras are going to take the football to start tonight's battle, which means Centerpoint will kick and have the ball to begin the third quarter.
Mark, we want to do a big shout-out like we heard in the featured Cobra player game. Hey, Nate's grandpa's listening all the way to California, along with all of our other fans that are streaming right now. And we want to say a big shout-out to Nate's grandpa.
What's up, Grandpa? I hope it is a lot cooler there than it is here right now. Tracy,
we're cool right here, man. Come on, dude. Come on.
You ever seen that movie, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, the second one?
Oh, gee.
You ever seen the movie?
Let's leave the rhino scene out of it, please.
I'm about to come out of the rhino.
Let's leave the rhino out.
It's going to happen.
Let's leave that one alone.
Don't worry, Hannah. I'm not going to catch a charge. But goodness, is it hot here.
Hey. Okay.
Shout-outs to rhinos.
Yeah, you just gave me another full picture of what is in your mind. Sometimes that worries me, Mark.
That's fine.
Everything's
fine. We're fine.
All right, as they come out on the field, of course, we're in our white jerseys, not our traveling jerseys, and Mark and I are in our gray shirts, our traveling shirts. A little visual there. And big shout-out to the team back, John in the house, helping us always with the streaming. And hey, man, what a great team we have here. How many games in a row?
169 tonight.
Oh.
169. We've been doing this a long time. Shout outs to our wives, by the way. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Hannah.
Oh, my goodness.
They're probably like, yes, it's Friday.
Yes.
Finally have the house to myself after a whole week of dirty men. Here we go. So the football getting set up on the 40-yard line. Centerpoint will kick. Fountain Lake will receive to start tonight's contest, moving right to left on your radio dial. Kickoff on its way, a little squib kick, and on one bounce, it's picked up by Anderson Davis at the 35-yard line. Davis gets to the 40, a return of 5 yards. We're underway here in the first quarter.
Hey, you know, Mark, I'm not sure if they watched film on that last week or not, because Smackover had that same game scheme, and with kicking it, little pooch kick, and Anderson did really good last week and had another good return right there.
Saw a lot of Anderson Davis working on that play right there in pregame warm-ups tonight. Always nice to see another Davis out there on the field doing big things for Fountain Lake football. All right, here we go. Here comes the offense. Cooper Bus and the boys. 1st and 10. Football on the 40-yard line of Fountain Lake, a 60-yard field. Moving right to left, Bus is in the shotgun. Devin Williams by his side, 4 wide on the formation. Handoff, Williams on the first play from scrimmage. Williams is going to dive up the middle for a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, and that's the waters that they're going to test right now, Mark. They're going to try to go up the middle, and probably eventually, like I said, they got a traditional 4-2. Now, here's what they're doing now. They're going to go ahead and bring in that extra linebacker and make it a little bit difficult if they're going to try to run the ball up the middle.
This time it'll be an empty backfield for Cooper Bus. He's got 5 wide. He'll drop back. Snap is made. Throws a home run ball downfield. Looking for Harwood. It was nearly intercepted.
Yeah, double coverage. Double coverage. He had Case here wide open on the right side. Completely open. But, hey, we've seen him come up with those catches before, those 50-50 balls, Mark.
Well, it's humid here, and you could tell that air. You could see Harwood kind of misread it because it's almost like hitting an invisible wall out in the sky, because that ball lost a lot of oomph before it got to Harwood and nearly picked off. It was an incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 7. So Williams returns beside Cooper Bus. Here's the snap. Bus with a quick pitch across the middle. No problem, says Case Hare. Oh, boy, Tracy Hare's got room to run. One man to beat, and he is gone. Touchdown, Cobras. A big touchdown score, Bus to Hare.
Holy cow. We called the play right before that. He was wide open. Obviously, the coach is over here in the box next door. MacArthur was saying, he's open. And sure enough, he was open. 6 points, Cobras, and we're on the board.
From an incomplete pass, nearly intercepted, to a 57-yard touchdown pass. Who else? Nate Jordan. Get the opportunity. Kick is up. Kick is good. 11:09 to play in the first quarter. Cobra strike first, 7-0. We're back in a moment. 92-9 KVRE. It was a 57-yard touchdown pass. Cooper Bus to Case Hare, and Nate Jordan, your featured Cobra Player of the Week, looking good with that PAT. 7-0 Cobras take the lead. Less than a minute off the clock here on the road. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Everyone's favorite 7-year-old superfan, River Oliver, is here as well. He's snacking away, getting ready for halftime. Fountain Lake's getting ready to kick this football off. We'll see Centerpoint offensively for the first time tonight.
Man, I'm telling you what, special teams played a big part last week. Let's see what happens here, Mark.
Here comes the kick from Nate Jordan. Sailing in the air. That one bounces at the 25-yard line, picked up by the Centerpoint Knights. Out to the 30 and the 35, pulling the pile out to the 40 and the 41-yard line. That's where the Knights are going to open up shop. It was Corey Passmore on the return for the purple and gold from Centerpoint.
Yeah, bit of a scrum right there in the middle, and finally Fountain Lake, they just said, no, this ain't going to happen anymore, and pushed them back a little bit further, but yeah, they went ahead and settled for the 40-yard line, and 1st and 10 for the Knights.
For the first time tonight, we're going to see the quarterback, Tony Valdez. He wears number 3 for the Centerpoint Knights. He operates out of the shotgun. They're going to swap guys from right to left here, trying to catch the Cobras. Offsides here, not going to happen. Handoff, Corey Passmore, the running back, stood up immediately. Might get a yard out of it, but not much. The defense swarmed the ball quite well there, Tracy.
No doubt about that. Leading Caleb Castle, of course, He likes getting in the mix of things and had a host of Cobras there with him. Little bit of a setup, a different look at defense this week, Mark. You're going to see some guys playing a little bit more on offense and defense. I know Coach Matt likes to single guys out and get a full squad, 11 and 11 on both sides, but you're going to see some guys definitely playing both sides of the ball tonight.
It's 2nd down and 8 after a 2-yard gain by the running back, Passmore. Too wide to the right for Valdez, who has Passmore by his side. Here's the snap. Drops back to pass. Pressure's coming, and he's sacked all the way back to the 35-yard line. The Cobras come up big, and that's a great one for Irwin making the stop.
Another pressure, the bookends that we've got, so to speak, the way they call it. He shifted around, of course, setting up on his outside, but he went ahead and did a split formation as far as coming around and just winding up in the A gap. Hey, that was a great combination, great call by the defense. Hey, right up the middle, and it was good for a sack and a big loss.
Loss of 7 on the play. Valdez and the Knights facing 3rd and 15. Ball on the Centerpoint 35. This is a big 3rd down. Valdez is going to send his men in motion, little misdirection. He pulls 2 off the right end, sends them left. He's going to take the snap. Here's the reverse play to Cox. Cox's first carry of the football game is going to be big yards for the Knights. Yep. It's a 1st down and then some.
That was the one we talked about in the pregame, Mark. That's the exact same play that we called. He gets 11 out on the edge, and they do a stutter. A 121 trap is what they call it over at Fountain Lake. Not sure how they call it in Centerpoint, but that's a trap play that you've got to stay at home. That's just a trick play altogether, and we weren't there, did not stay at home, and, of course, obviously a big play. And hey, he's a big kid, too, though, so it's going to take more than one kid to bring him down.
Dustin Cox, the senior, with a 17-yard gain. The Knights are in Cobra country. 1st and 10 from the Fountain Lake 48-yard line. Centerpoint trailing 7-0. 8:50 to go in the first. Handoff, fullback run right up the middle on the carry, number 34, Hayden Dodson. He'll get 1.
Yeah, a big pressure push right there by the defensive line. And coming up again, man, I'm telling you what, he's already got a couple of tackles under his belt right now, and I love the style that Irwin's playing right now. They're shifting him over once again. He'll line up in the B gap, and once they do a double shift, then he sort of does a crossover, which means he, instead of coming in on the guard, he's actually coming in on the center. And it's just making a big improvement on what we've been able to do as far as defense.
That rush up the middle brings up 2nd down and 9 on the Cobra 47. Valdez calls for the ball and hands it off to Dodson once again. Ball nearly popped free there as Dodson goes down. Another 1-yard gain for the Knights.
Well, and there's our featured Cobra player right there, Nate Jordan, in on the tackle. He stayed at home, and otherwise he could have bounced it out and made a big gain. But by staying at home, he was able to make the tackle. And you're right, Mark, that ball almost came out. And what I was talking about a while ago, that was the keys to the game. That was that shift where you said that they tried to jump us offside.
That's right.
That's one of their plays that they're going to do time and time again, and that's all going back to that Dustin Cox, number 0. He is one of the big-time players for Centerpoint. You got to watch him.
The Knights converted on a big 3rd down already on this drive once. It's 3rd and 9 here. Handoff, Cox. He's the bell cow on 3rd down. He won't get the 1st down this time. Aiden Alt coming in, making a good tackle inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, gain of 4. And it's 4th down and what appears to be 5.
Yeah, big hit right there by Aiden Alton. Once again, gang tackling contributed to him going down and not making more than that. I'm going to say he goes about 6'2", 200 pounds. And I know Hayden soaking wet probably goes about 175. But, hey, he said, look, I'll take you on, big boy. Come on, get you some.
It'll be 4th down and 4 for the Centerpoint Knights. They're in Cobra territory at the 43, and they look like they're going for it here. Big 4th down. Here's the snap. Valdez fakes the handoff, and he's going to be sacked by Nate Jordan. Ball's on the ground. It's a turnover on downs, and Fountain Lake stifles the Knights' first drive of the game.
Mark, do I need to say it again? Your featured Cobra player coming up big right there on a stunt blitz. And sure enough, he put pressure from the outside, and just as the quarterback was about to release the ball, Nate said, no, not on my watch, took him down. First down, Cobras.
Couple of big sacks on that drive as well. Jaden Irwin, who Nate Jordan shouted out in his interview, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it's this 1-2 punch, this tag team duo on defense that we really enjoy watching. Bus and the boys are back out after throwing a 57-yard touchdown pass. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10, strike across the middle. Peyton Harwood. Oh my goodness. Harwood to the end zone. One play, 6 points. The Cobras are back on the board. A 48-yard score.
Holy cow, just like that. 6 points on a connection between, the two that lead the conference right now in passing. And sure enough, a little slant pass right up the middle. Caught it at about 16 yards in stride. Took it to the house. 6 points. Cobras. Wow.
I know that Peyton Harwood was frustrated after last week. Some of the things just not going his way in that game. That is a huge statement catch right there. And a statement kick from Nate Jordan, his second PAT of the night. Cobras lead at 14-0, 6:24 to play in the first. We'll stay right here.
Mark, and when I was out there, of course, doing my prelim with all the boys out there, talking to them, I looked at him, I said, and I shrugged my shoulders. He looked back at me and he gave me this. He said, Three. I went, what? He goes, 3. I said, okay. I said, just get out there and do your thing. The rest will come to it. But there's one on his way to 3, I guess, gang. We'll see what happens with that one.
Listen, if I've learned anything in my interactions with Peyton Harwood, he's a young man. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Well, I'm telling you what, that was, he just gave me, I was like, okay, let's go, big man. Unbelievable.
Well, if you blinked, you missed it. The Cobras are back on the scoreboard. 1 play, 6 points. Cooper Bus, 2 of 3 tonight through the air, 2 touchdowns. Well, impressive.
No doubt. Now, I don't think we'll have to do that. Oh, my goodness, Mark. Look at the kick.
Here comes this onside kick, and Centerpoint was ready for it. They're going to grab the ball at the 47 of the Knights. They'll open up shop with good field position here.
Mark, I'm going to write something to the listeners right now. This is grass field, same as Smackover, but as I walked out on it earlier in the prelims, it seemed deeper. I don't know if a lot of you guys out there that play golf, you know the difference in grass and the fairways and stuff. And this grass seemed a little bit deeper and thicker, almost like a Bermuda. And last week you could tell it was a little bit drier, but this seems to be a thicker and a taller grass. I'm not sure about those onside kicks right now.
Here come the Knights, 1st and 10 from their own 47.
There's that shift again, Mark.
They're going to pull a couple off the right end, Cox being one of them. Now 3 to the left. Valdez takes the snap. Quarterback keeper looking for the left-hand edge. Aiden Alt says, not so fast. So it'll be a gain of 2 for Valdez, who got to the right end, and then he met Aiden Alt, who's made a couple of really big reads on the quarterback tonight so far. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, he had the guy in Keaton Canals was right there. Great sportsmanship right there by King helping him up. Hey, look, we've seen too many frustrations on the field this year. We don't, these kids, they just know they want to play some ball out here. It is a game.
The Knights are going to break the huddle here, 2nd down and 8. Football's at the 49 of Centerpoint with the 51-yard field moving left to right. Valdez operates out of the shotgun. He'll send Cox and Zach Miot to the left-hand side on the switch. Here's the handoff to the running back, number 32, Corey Passmore. Passmore stutter steps up the middle, gets a positive gain up front. Across midfield, he'll be spotted down at the 47-yard line, gain of 4.
Mark, basically, they're shifting. What they're doing is basically doing a bulk package on that shift, primarily to the left. If you've seen it already so far, 6 of the 7 plays have been set up on the left-hand side. But now you're starting to see us shift and go along with it. As soon as they do that shift, you're seeing Castle move over in that direction. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep up with that same thing all night long.
Fountain Lake has the linebacker spying here. Here's the snap, fake handoff to Cox. Valdez across the middle, pass is caught, and some room to run for the Centerpoint Knights here inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. That'll move the chains, an 11-yard gain.
Well, initially, number 5, he set up in the slot, Borgensen, on the left-hand side. And as he cleared out the zone underneath, it was a drag pattern. Our linebackers, once they saw it wasn't a run, sort of went a little bit too deep. But, coming up and making the tackle and putting it into it was, a big-time push. So that could have went for a lot more like you were talking about, but we responded well.
First pass attempt of the game for Valdez is good for a 13-yard gain. Valdez operates out of the shotgun for the Knights. New set of downs, 1st and 10. And a
mix up there.
Well, I believe this is going to be false start against the offense here. The line started moving a little bit early. Coach Rogers for the Centerpoint Knights is furious, screaming into the line judge's ear here, but I don't think he's going to win the battle here.
Yeah, no, he's getting all – I think he's saying that the ball wasn't set. He's complaining that the ball was not set.
Coach Rogers halfway out on the field here.
He's a little upset, and, I mean, he might have something there, Mark. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's getting a warning from the head judge to back it up back to the sideline here. Play's going to continue. It'll be 1st and 15, Centerpoint, who trails the Fountain Lake Cobras 14-0 early in the first quarter. Well, I guess midway through the first quarter by now, 4:21 to go in the opening act. Valdez and the Knights break out of the huddle, rush back to the line here, 2 wide right. One man by his side, that's the running back, Pasmore. Here's the reverse to
again.
Cox up the middle, and Aiden Alt is there. Saw it coming. It looks like he's spying number 0 here, Tracy. It's a gain up the middle down to the 36-yard line.
A little bit of a shift on defense, too, Mark. You've seen Elijah Childs out there. That's the first time we've seen him, as a standard play. He's come in on some D stands down in the red zone. But right now, him coming out and playing, starting D tackle, that's been the first time this year. And actually a good tackle right there along with Alt to make a short gain.
That's a gain of 5, and that brings the Knights back to an original 2nd down and 10. From the 36-yard line, Valdez spies the defense, takes the snap, rolls to the left. The window's open. He's actually going to throw downfield. Now flags fly in the secondary. We'll see where this is going to go here, Tracy.
They're going to call pass interference on us.
I believe it's going to be pass interference on the Cobras here, and that could be big news if you're Centerpoint.
Mark, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad he threw the ball because he had all kinds of daylight on the left-hand side. We've got to really watch that because they'll come back, and I guarantee you they'll come back on that again. They talked about the fake. You heard Coach Matt talk about the fake in the interview on the coach's corner.
Yes.
And that was something that we just bid on right then, so we need to really watch that. I know, and he slid underneath Nate Jordan, so that's where the linebacker has to slide up and cover up that outside so he doesn't have a chance to shift to the outside where there's a lot of green.
New signs of life for Centerpoint, who's now at a 1st and 10 on the Fountain Lake 22-yard line. Valdez, handoff, Passmore, looking for the left-hand edge, and the Cobras are going to knock him out of bounds. And a great stop made by Fountain Lake. Keaton Canals in on the tackle. Love calling that young man's name, just a sophomore. The future's bright. He can lay the smack down for a 10th grader.
Mark, right now you can obviously see only 3 plays coming to the right side of the field where they've been working the short side of the field to the left. They've primarily been trending that way. I don't know if that's something that they standardly work on.
That's their sweet spot is the runs to the left, and Fountain Lake is starting to pick that up here early. Still a long game to go. Let's see if they have another trick up their sleeve here. They're going to swap Cox and Miot from the left end to the right end. Additional blockers, we suspect, and they just drew the Cobras off sides here. They just got him on the strike play, and that's going to be another penalty against Fountain Lake here. A free 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2 inside the red zone.
Yeah, that was a hard count. He definitely got him on the hard count, Mark, and we fell for it, sure enough. But, hey, look, you got to look at that ball when you're on the down line. Yeah, Childs just got a little over anxious, which, hey, he has a tendency because he's all over sometimes and he gets excited. But sure enough, you got to keep your eyes on the ball. Don't listen to that quarterback.
On 2nd down and short, the handoff up the middle. Pasmore, the running back, I believe is going to have just enough to move the chains. Needed 2 yards. Looks like he got 2 yards. And that will bring up 1st and goal for the Centerpoint Knights. Yes, it will, from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, he straight up, man. He pushed it down. Some good tackling there. He just kept those legs churning and was able to pick up a couple more. So we'll see right now if the defense gets stingy. We've seen it before, and, right now is the time to go ahead and get it going because the defense, been on the field for a little while now.
I had a chance to watch practice this week, Tracy. The Cobras worked this exact situation right here, back against your wall inside the 10-yard line. Here's the handoff, jet sweep to Cox. Cox looking for the end zone. He's in for the score. Couple Cobras tried to wrap up, couldn't stop the big burly running back. Centerpoint is on the board with a 10-yard score.
The same exact play that he ran 17 on earlier, Mark. And, I mean, you've got to key in on that guy. There's only 2 of them that are going to run the ball. And so we've got to spy on him. And right now he's their leading rusher with that big run. And of course, with that 17-yard that I talked about earlier. But he's going to definitely carry that ball. And he, like you said, he's a big burly boy. And it's going to take more than one guy just to bring him down tonight.
It's an 8-point ball game ahead of what will be a 2-point conversion for Centerpoint here. This could be big. Valdez operates out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Cox, throws end zone. Miot is there, wide open. The catch is good.
Nobody there. I mean, he literally released off his tight end position. And I don't know, they just dropped the coverage right there. Nobody there within, 10 yards of him, wide open. And, hey, that's a booster. We know this game is a shifty situation where it goes momentum, always. And right now, that was a big boost for the Centerpoint Knights. Offense got to come out and respond.
6-point ball game, 14-8. We'll take a break. Back in a moment, 92.9 KVRE.
At Reiser Ford Lincoln in Hot Springs, they're proud to have one of the highest percentages of repeat customers of any Ford or Lincoln dealership in Arkansas. Why? Because they offer the biggest inventory of Ford and Lincoln products, plus financing to fit your pocketbook. Visit them on Facebook or at riserauto.com. Reiser Ford Lincoln, your trusted dealership and the community's best choice, dedicated to creating lifelong customers by treating everyone like family.
Back here at Centerpoint High School, he's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Centerpoint on the board for the first time tonight. A 10-yard touchdown run from Dustin Cox, and a 2-point conversion to Miot is good. Moments ago, the kickoff to Fountain Lake returned by Peyton Harwood out to the 30-yard line for a 10-yard return. Tracy, Fountain Lake, just 3 offensive plays through the air, 2 of them going for touchdowns tonight. They have not been on the field much offensively. 4 total plays. Let's see what Cooper Buss and the boys do here now that they're feeling maybe even a little bit of pressure now from Centerpoint. 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Buss in the shotgun, 3 wide right, 1 left. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff. Devin Williams. Williams gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, they did a full-out blitz right there. And, when they come up, they had both of their linebackers hitting the A-gap, which means right on the other side of the center. Now, we've got a new center starting tonight, Mark, if you noticed that. And that's going to – Towns is in there now. Not quite the blocking that, that he's capable of. He's new to it. But he'll learn real quick if that keeps going on.
It's 2nd down and 10. Buss calls for the ball, takes the snap, quick pitch, Harwood. And Harwood met immediately, tackled for a loss. A rare feat, Tracy, as the Knights defense knew immediately who the ball was going to. It's a catch, but it's for a loss of yardage.
Well, Mark, they've obviously watched film. They run this same play. It's a little bit of a scuttle screen on the outside, and it's a telltale giveaway. If that one wide receiver starts blocking down, you know that that's going to be a screen, and they read it perfect.
3rd down and 13 for Fountain Lake here. Ball on the 27-yard line. Big 3rd down offensively. Buss gets the snap, throws a ball downfield, double coverage. Case Hare, no problem. Hare gets across midfield past the 40 to the 36-yard line for a huge gain.
Man, he just literally ran right past him. That was one of those ones where double coverage tried to play a part in it, but he just went up for the ball. I'd say 50-50, but since he had 2 guys on him, I guess that would be a 33-66. I don't know.
That is complete confidence in your wide receiver. Buss knew that was a difficult catch to make. He trusted number 7 to make it, and he did. 1st and 10, Cobras inside Knights territory at the Centerpoint 36. Buss will take the snap. He sends everybody out in the field, has time. He's going to take it right up the middle. There's an opening there, and Bus is going to scoot across the 45 down to the 44-yard line there for a pretty small gain there, but he still moves the possession forward there. Looks like gain of 2.
Strong safety Eli Welch came up and made a great tackle for Centerpoint right there. Was able to wrap up low, and a great formation tackle right there to keep him from gaining any more. But, hey, look, some positive yards, Mark. We'll take it every time.
This could be the final play of the first quarter. On 2nd down and 8. Bus,
the
the
blitz,
snap.
the blitz.
Has time, throws, has a man. Case Hare on the screen pass. This could be trouble. Hare's got the first down, and he's brought down inside the red zone with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Another big gain here for Fountain Lake, and that'll bring Case Hare down within the 20. Looks like to the 17-yard line for a gain of 17.
Yep.
That'll be the end of the first quarter here from Centerpoint High School. We've played one. Fountain Lake leads at 14-8. Back in a moment. Fountain Lake football, 92-9 KVRE. Just like that, we've arrived at the second quarter here from Centerpoint High School with Tracy Simpson and River Oliver. I'm Mark Oliver. Back and forth battle there, Tracy. The Cobras made it look really, really easy early in this one, but a long, grindy drive from the Knights, backed by a couple of big Cobra penalties, put Centerpoint back in this football game. As we start the second quarter, Fountain Lake already driving deep inside Knights territory. They have not been challenged much throughout the broadcast tonight, and now they're going to be inside the red zone all the way down to the 15-yard line after a 19-yard catch from Case Hare.
Well, once again, Big Red Realty, providing real estate services in Hot Springs Village since 1978. The oldest real estate company in Hot Springs Village. Give them a call, 623-7905, because we're in the Big Red Zone.
Fountain Lake trying to add another score to the scoreboard here, trying to pad the lead against Centerpoint here in Week 2, the finale for the Cobras' non-conference season this year. Cooper Bus in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Football from the 15-yard line. Here's the snap, quick pitch. Case Hare, left wide open. He's inside the 10, down inside the 5, and he is just short of the goal line here. We'll see where they spot him down.
Oh, my goodness, I thought he had it, Mark.
Case Hare playing with authority tonight, a 12-yard gain.
My goodness gracious, no doubt. And just as he went to lunge forward, and we've already called that young man's name before Eli Welch came up and was just able to push him back. But sure enough, he made it count, and he's right there within grasp of another touchdown.
Cobras are knocking on the door here. It'll be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Cooper Bus is going to take the snap. He's going to roll to the left-hand side looking for help. He's going to take it himself. He's going to dive for the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown Cobras. Cooper Bus with the quarterback keeper.
Holy cow. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Cobras are on a march right now. Hey, it didn't take long, but a combination of some run plays and, of course, the big, big pass plays. Cobras back in the end zone for another 6 points.
Second rush of the night was a big one for Cooper Bus, who finds the end zone. And Nate Jordan's PAT is good. We'll keep it right here. Just barely into the second quarter, almost deja vu to what we saw at the beginning of the first quarter tonight. But one thing's for certain, Cobras have 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns to go with it.
Yeah, and, I mean, the defense coming out, they, struggled a little bit. Of course, they've shut them down, and, it was a long drive. Of course, they ate of a couple of penalties. That's something that they're going to have to look out for, with that pass interference and along with that, offsides. Looked like they were working on that a little bit more, trying to watch the ball. And so far, the defense. But the keys, just like we talked about, Mark, in the pregame. Hey, look, you got to keep your eyes. It's just that simple on number 0. I mean, he's going to carry the rock for the majority of the game on the big plays.
And I think Centerpoint is I think they learned a lot from that last drive out there. Obviously, Cox is very hard to take down from the Cobra defense, and Valdez also has a few tricks up his sleeve as well. Centerpoint may be down by 13 right now. I don't think the Knights think that they're out of this game yet.
No. I mean, hey, look, they've got an offense that can score, especially with that spread offense. So, hey, look, right now we've just got to concentrate on what we can work on. And let's see, a little bit of a hold-up. What's going on? The referees stating something.
I
to our
wouldn't be
sidelines.
surprised if the Cobras onside kick it here and try to get it back and really disrupt that rhythm from Centerpoint. They had that last drive. We'll see what Nate Jordan cooks up in the kitchen here. Kick on its way. End over end. Little squib kick toward the middle. Fair catch is made at the 30-yard line. Centerpoint opens up shop with Valdez and the boys.
Yep, Mario Ballard on a fair catch right there. And good catch at that, a little freestyling it. And sure enough, Centerpoint's offense coming back. Let me see if they set up in any different feel. I see the same defense coming out. And once again, we've got to key on. Now, they've drawn us off on that shift before, Mark.
That's right.
And you know, that shift has been pretty impressive. And whether it's the 121 cutter or just the jet sweep like you stated a while ago, it's worked. So we got to key in on that and keep them between the tackles.
The consistency of the offense tonight has to boost the confidence of the defense here. Handoff. Cox up the middle on first down, and not a whole lot gained there by the senior running back.
Well, I think we've learned something. Coaches obviously have seen it and coming up big time right there for us. Hey, that was a welcome sight across the middle as we saw Childs push through the center and actually disrupt it, because it was another one of those seemingly little bitty jet sweeps to number 0, and we were able to read it that time, Mark.
Gain of 1 for Cox. It brings up 2nd down and 9 for Centerpoint. Moving right to left on your radio dial. Ball at the 32 of the Knights. Centerpoint trailing Fountain Lake 21-8.
He dropped it. Here goes
Valdez
Childs.
takes the
Holding.
snap, rolls to the left-hand side. Flags fly. Valdez ran out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It would have been a gain of 3.
Well,
I suspect, yes, this is holding against the offense. Back up Centerpoint.
That wasn't holding. That was a tackle, Mark. Nate Jordan, was about to put the smackdown on him, and that's why he was running for his life. He felt the pressure from the right, and the defensive struggle between. I know I've been there before, because when you got an offensive guard holding on to you in your jersey and it looks like out of a cartoon, he's not. And then finally the ref threw the flag, but he's tucking in his jersey now back after that big play.
So the holding penalty, it's the first one of the night against the home team, Centerpoint. That's going to back up the Knights quite a bit. 2nd down and 20. Do it for the purple and gold. Low snap, Valdez takes it, pressure's coming, throws across the middle, has Miot with a catch in the flats, spins across a couple of defenders, give him about a 13-yard gain, bringing up a big 2nd down.
Mark, that's the same drag pattern that they did earlier to complete that 4th and long earlier. You know, they've had 2 4th downs that they've completed it on, and the same exact drop pattern. Once they see Valdez go back in the back, our linebackers are dropping back, but somebody's got to keep an eye on him coming out of the backfield, because what it is he's pretending to block, and then he makes contact, but then he sort of just gets on out and comes across the middle.
It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Centerpoint Knights. And now the shift here. Cox and Miot moving to the left-hand side. 4 eligible receivers to the left. Here's the handoff, and immediately up the middle goes the quarterback. That goes the running back. That's Pasmore on the carry, and that'll get the Centerpoint Knights down to a 4th down and short. I'm looking at 4th down and 2 here.
Well, once again, another one of those. And what they're doing is once they shift on that, of course, they're wanting us to draw us offside. Well, when they do that shift, it's a counter move then. And basically the guard is pulling from the left. He leads, and here comes the running back, and they're just hoping to push the D end out and gain more of it. Good
in their own territory, the Knights are going to roll the dice from their own 40. Trying to draw the Cobras off sides. Didn't happen here. Will we see a timeout? No. We'll see the snap. Handoff. Dotson, the fullback, and he's going to dive forth to pick up the 1st down.
Well, they read the blitz perfect. We had a blitz package coming in on that, and both of our linebackers came up the middle. And he bounced it to the outside. And sure enough, we were fortunate enough to have, Gambler out there on the tackle, but otherwise he would have taken off for a little bit more.
Dodson's going to pick up 5. New set of downs for the Knights, who open 1st and 10 from their own 45. Centerpoint with the football, trailing 21-8. Valdez fans the receivers out, 2 left, 1 right. He'll take the snap. It's the jet sweep to Cox, and the ball is on the ground. The Cobras are going to pick it up. Fountain Lake coming up with a big turnover. Scooped it up. Logan Rhodes.
There you go. That's one of those sophomores, baby, coming up big. Another one of those coaches' kids that has a nose for the ball. And man, oh man, oh man, a turnover in night territory, and Cobras are on the move.
That is huge for the defense. They were looking for a big win. They had the turnover on downs on the first possession for Centerpoint, but after allowing that touchdown, they needed to show the offense, hey, we've got your back. They just did that.
Hey, you know what? O'Brien, did you see that? I mean, that was one of those combinations, coming up and make the perfect tackle. Oh, man.
Left the ball on the ground. Rhodes, right place, right time. 1st and 10, Cobras from the Centerpoint 32. Home run ball. Looking for the end zone. Hare, dives, catch, good, touchdown. Oh, my goodness. One play, 6 points.
Holy cow, what a catch. Are you kidding me, Mark? Right out of your script there, because he leaped out there. Could have sworn that he was going to drop the ball. Ref was right down on top of it. He pulled it in as he probably went 4 yards in the air to catch that ball. Mark, he is playing a game tonight. That ball was on a dime, and Hare's got something.
Here comes Nate Jordan. Kick on its way. Kick good. With 8:16 to play in the first half, the Cobras lead by 20, 28-8. We'll be right back. This is Fountain Lake Football, 92.9 KVRE. Fountain Lake back on the scoreboard. A huge touchdown pass. Cooper Bus to Case Hare, 32 yards. Tracy, 5 receptions tonight for Hare, 157 yards, 2 scores, and one of the most beautiful catches I've seen in 16 years on the mic.
That was a special catch right there. I mean, he lunged out, and like I said, I know he went every bit of 3, if not 4 yards to catch that. But what was miraculous is to hold on to the ball.
Deep end over end kick from Jordan. Bounces at the 15 into the breadbasket of the Centerpoint Knights. Here comes the return man. It's Cox up the middle to the 35-yard line, and he'll squeeze out a few more yards to the 39. Not a bad return there for Dustin Cox. Centerpoint certainly feeling the pressure here in the first half here at home, down 20.
Well, no doubt about it, right there. A little bit more gang tackling would have been helpful. As it is, he broke through 3 or 4 would-be tacklers and was able to pick up another 10 yards. But, hey, I'm just going to tell you right now, like you said earlier, he's a big old boy, Mark, and you're not going to just, wrap up on him high. You got to get down low and really get around and make the emphasis on the full tackle.
Into the game at wide receiver for the Knights, number 8, Mario Ballard. Here's the handoff to Dodson, and boy, he nearly dropped it, Tracy. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Holds on to the rock, but it's going to be a loss on the play. It gave Fountain Lake enough time to come in and make a big stop.
Mark, that child came in, and although he didn't make the tackle, he slapped the ball, and the ball went around his back like you were doing a basketball move.
Yeah, a little behind the back move.
He went behind the back, and he brought it up with his right hand, so very fortunate that he didn't lose that. Goodness gracious.
Just a loss of 2 for Centerpoint. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Knights. Backed up to the Centerpoint 38-yard line. Moving right to left on your radio dial. Valdez calls for the ball, fakes the handoff, drops back, hit as he throws, and that one is broken up. Incomplete, and great defense coming in. Logan Rhodes in on the play.
Yeah, stump blitz right there, but what happened was that left the middle open, and that was the exact same play that they've thrown now time and time again to number 5, who's came across and made 2 completions there. It's that sort of a counter drag that they come across, and we've seen it now. We need to key in on that. Key in on number 5, because when you see him coming across the middle, hey, they're going to throw to him, and sure enough, that was just one he'll want back sometime because he dropped it.
It's Valdez's first incomplete pass of the ball game, and it's a big 3rd down for Centerpoint. Ball on the 38, 3rd and 12. Here's the snap. Quick pitch, left-hand side. Cox makes the catch. He has the 1st down, and he's breaking tackles all the way. Logan Rhodes makes the touchdown-saving tackle down at the Cobra 40-yard line.
Yeah, they found something here. They know that they can come out here on the left-hand side. So far, Harness came up for the interception and just missed the ball. and then it was a clear shot going out to the receiver, and sure enough, he made the best for it. Hey, we've seen Cox make all the plays tonight, and he continues to be a pain for the defense.
That's the biggest offensive play of the night for the Centerpoint Knights, a 22-yard pass to Cox. Now inside Cobra territory, 1st and 10 from the 40. 6:45 to play in the first half. Centerpoint down 20. Here's the snap.
Flats.
Quick pitch, right-hand side, overthrows Cox for the incompletion.
He was wide open once again out in the flats. I mean, he looks still a little tired, though, I'll be honest with you, Mark.
After that run, hands on his hips. You can tell slow getting back to the huddle. Fountain Lake's watching that. Now, that one almost got the best of the Cobra defense there.
And I'm not sure about why are we going the play clock from 40? I'm not sure why we're standard.
Usually 25.
Well, they've not. This is a bamboozle.
Now they've got it fixed here.
Okay, all right. I was wondering about that because there's a lot of time between their offensive plays right now.
Here's the snap. Handoff, Dotson. He's met immediately. Tackle made. Just like a jailbreak, Landon Gambler comes in with a huge running back stop.
No doubt. Another one of those. Hey, we've keyed in on this now, knowing that when they don't do the shift, they primarily hand off in that formation just over the center. And sure enough, with the blitz on the call, they were able to get him in the backfield. Mark, I'm a little concerned for their number 0. He's still sort of leaning over.
Well, you got to remember, it's hot out here tonight,
That's what
Tracy.
I'm talking about.
This is the hottest Friday night that we've had.
Mark. They're going to call a timeout.
Centerpoint's going to call a timeout. We're going to keep it right here with
6:03
to go. But you're right, Tracy. This is the hottest football Friday night we've had so far this season. Temperatures around the mid-90s at kickoff at 7 o'clock tonight. So, yeah, this is a good timeout here really for both teams.
Well,
get a chance, get some water, get a breather here.
You know, and here's another deal, Mark. Last weekend talking to the refs, they had 3 or 4 official timeouts just so the kids could get a rest. I think this is when maybe they – and look, I'm all about the kids, man. This is something that maybe I don't know if they'll give Centerpoint a timeout back, but this is something that they need to look at as far as stopping the game a couple of times. You're right. Humidity level right now, 91%. We're still sitting here with the heat index value at 92. It's 84 degrees, but the heat index is something else. But definitely need to take that into consideration. I talk to people, in the morning show all the time about hydrating. Yeah, and whether you're playing football or you're in the band or whatever the case is, I mean, that's the key to it right there. And I feel their pain, man. I've been there when, especially third and fourth quarter, you and I've seen it, the old cramps start coming.
You're right. We still have a long way to go in this one here, really just midway through the second quarter where Fountain Lake leads at Centerpoint 28-8. 4 straight drives, 4 straight touchdowns for Fountain Lake in this one. 3 through the air and 1 on the ground for Cooper Bus. All right, timeout over. It's time to get back to the game. From the 44-yard line of Fountain Lake, it will be 3rd down and 14. Valdez, the snap. Throw across the middle.
Tipped it.
It was tipped by Jaden Irwin. That will be an incomplete pass. Here comes 4th down, and you have to think with your back against the wall, Centerpoint's going to go to the huddle and try to draw one up for big yardage here. We've seen it once on a 4th down conversion. They're going to try to get another one here in the second quarter.
1 of 3 plays. Of course, the counter to number 0.
Yep.
And as 0 sets up wide out, you're going to look at him also. And then what do? The drag pattern coming across for number 5. So those are those 3 key plays that they continue to do to pick up the first down. And, of course, but we've got to keep that quarterback inside the pocket because he can scramble.
The Centerpoint Knights march back to the line here for
4th
and 14.
Here he is.
Valdez the snap. One wide left. It's Cox, the intended receiver, and it's broken up, incomplete. Preston Harness with the defense, and the Cobras will take over on downs.
There it was, Mark. I mean, obviously the coaches saw it too, but he was lined up. But I'm going to tell you what, Mark, he didn't have the step in him like he did on that earlier reception that he had. You can still see that he is a little tired. He's not going out on defense. He's actually coming to the sideline. So hopefully that young man gets some get some fluid in him right now because he's playing a spectacular game for Centerpoint.
Fountain Lake's offense has been nothing short of spectacular tonight. 4 scores in 4 drives. It's the start of drive number 5 for number 5, Cooper Buss. 1st and 10 Cobras from the Fountain Lake 44-yard line. Here's the snap, pitch off, Peyton Harwood. Harwood breaks a couple of tackles. Holding is going to be the flag down on the field. Harwood across midfield. Harwood making quick work of the defense. 40, 35, makes a man miss. 30-yard line. He runs out of bounds. An excellent run. Too bad it's not going to count.
Yeah, we got a holding in the backfield, no doubt about it. And it was an all right play, but once again, there was that holding from the very get-go. But, boy, what an exciting run that was. That almost looked like one of those Pee-wee runs back in the day. Keystone Cops.
Well, look, here's the math for you. If Peyton Harwood can get the yak, that's the yards after catch, why not just go ahead and give him the catch from the line of scrimmage?
I'm just telling you that. Well, we've seen that go for a touchdown and also some big-time gains already.
Yes, we have.
So, it's been a weapon in their arsenal so far that's worked this year, and I'm sure they'll come back to it, but I'm curious to see what they do now after that big run.
1st and 20, Buss expected to go to the air here. Here's the snap. Buss, here's footsteps. He's going to be brought down for a sack. Back inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. That's quite the loss for the Cobras.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. And that rest that number 0 got did a wonder of good for him because he came in with the 40 and went right through our line and made the sack right there. So a little bit of rest does the body good, and sure enough, that was obvious right there. Big-time loss.
I believe it's going to be 2nd down and 27 for Fountain Lake. But with this offense, man, they're just numbers, baby. They're just numbers.
Well,
We got 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. That 1 is Case Hare, and he's
Single
matched
set,
up
Mark.
extremely
Yeah.
well. I think Buss sees that too. Buss throws, Hare, who else? Even I saw that one coming. Here's the pass, the catch, 35-40. Hare brings a couple of men with him, gets back to around the original line of scrimmage there. Pretty good gain there, and that will be a gain of 18 yards.
A little bit of a difference on that screen, on that quick screen, Mark. They didn't bring the slot receiver out so far. They kept them more in a bunch formation closer to the rest of the linemen, so it didn't quite give it away. But as soon as Hare caught the ball, then they all sprinted over there, and he was able to tuck in under them for a big gain.
Case Hare now 6 receptions, 175 yards receiving. We're still in the first half. 3rd down and 9. Buss has set, calls for the ball, has time in the pocket across the middle. There's a catch down at the 40-yard line, and a big reception made by Kyler Kylicote for Fountain Lake.
Mark, that may be his
his first catch of the season.
Yeah.
And it's a big one there, and you can tell the coaches here in the box were
They got
excited.
all excited.
Pull that play out, and it worked well.
Oh, and he went up big time for that one. Oh, goodness gracious. That's one of them sophomores, Mark, that we talk about.
The future is bright. Congrats to Calicote there. A big gain, I believe 14 yards on the reception.
Almost 4 minutes left in the second quarter, 28-8. Cobras on the march.
Ball's at the 42-yard line of Centerpoint. Buss takes the snap on 1st down. Throws, looking for a man. Harwood makes the grab in space. He's brought down immediately, but he will move the ball forward. Looks like a gain of just about 5. We'll see where they spot it.
Oh, Mark, they gave him a good spot, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did, Tracy. They sure did. Let's see here. That's going to be a gain of, looks like a gain of 6.
6.5, boy. He ran backwards, Mark, but that's okay. We'll take it. I'm not complaining, but
Harwood now 3 catches, 51 yards and a score. It's 2nd down and 4. Football is down at the 36-yard line. High snap. Buss takes it. Has a man. Catch is made.
There we go.
Here comes Devin Williams. They left him wide open. Williams running with authority inside the 15. Knocked out of bounds at the 14. You can't sleep on Devin Williams. Punishing run for the senior.
Mark, that was an absolute perfect screen setup. I mean, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. Unbelievable play. I mean, all he did was get back, and now we're in the Big Red Realty red zone.
22-yard gain for Devin Williams through the air. Cooper Buss 262 yards passing tonight here in the first quarter. Cobras knocking on the door here. Ball at the 14, 1st and 10. Fountain Lake looking to add another one. They've been perfect tonight offensively. Busts the snap on 1st down, turns around, pitches it to Williams. Williams finds an opening up the middle, inside the 14, down to around the 12. Give him 2.
Mark, it was an all-out blitz right there. It was a good read because he first tried to go up the middle, and you could see how he said, no, there's not going to be anything right there. So that was just all Williams cutting it out, gaining a little bit, but some positive yards where that could have ended up negative.
Looks like it's only going to be a gain of 1 here on the rush by Williams. So this is 2nd down and 8. Football from the 12. Busts the snap, throws end zone. Case Hare got a little tripped up down on the grass, couldn't make the connection.
Well, Mark, and that's what I was talking about earlier, especially in some of these low-lying areas where the less activity is on the field. The grass is a lot thicker, and that's one of those areas that wrong the flag. That part of the end zone, it just seemed a lot thicker. And you saw him trip over on his. He just stumbled off the grass. So we'll see what happens here. Going to make up for it.
2:46 to go in the first half. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Bus takes the snap on 3rd down. Striking across the middle. Harwood, end zone. Oh, yes, he's got it. A 12-yard touchdown strike. The Cobras are back on the board.
Holy cow. Back in the end zone again. Harwood, he's counting them up, Mark. I'm not sure where we're going with this.
2, Tracy.
Okay.
2.
I'm just telling you. All right, we're not even at halftime yet. 6 more points.
Nate Jordan out to attempt the PAT. Of course it's good. And the Cobras are back on the board. We're going to stay right here. 35-8 Fountain Lake. We're going to keep it right here. Centerpoint will get the football back. And a reminder, Centerpoint will also get the football to start the 3rd quarter of tonight's game here. So the Knights are going to get set up here to try to do something on offense. Fountain Lake 5 for 5 offensively tonight. Harwood with his 2nd touchdown reception of the ball game.
Mark, let me remind everybody now that they had to use one of their timeouts. Okay, so when they come out on their offense, they can only use 2:42 left in the half. So the Knights only have 2 timeouts to work it right now as they come back out. And well, they haven't got the ball yet, though, Mark. We've seen this. Okay, they haven't.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, it's 35-8. I don't know if we do that or not, but I'm just telling you.
I do.
I don't see the ball on like the watermelon kick like they've done before, but I'm just saying. Okay.
Peyton Harwood has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Here's the kick, end-over-end line drive kick, picked up by the Knights at the 32-yard line. Knights on the move, right-hand side, get a pretty good return out to around the 40-yard line. Centerpoint will open up shop, 2:37 to go in the first half.
All right, once again, primarily, Mark, Centerpoint comes out. They're concentrating a lot on emphasis, of course, on number 0. He's been their workhorse all night long, Dustin Cox. And we've seen a good defensive stance right now as far as keeping the quarterback between the tackles. I'll be honest with you, he hasn't had a lot of scrambling. He's been, he's their leading rusher, and we have not seen that a lot. So the defense doing a great job tonight.
Here come the Knights, 1st down and 10. From the 40-yard line, here's the handoff to the running back. It's Passmore who gets the call, and he is hit hard. That ball's on the ground, Tracy, and I believe Centerpoint does come up with it.
They need to go down.
Passmore is down on the play. He took a hard hit here. We're going to take an injury timeout. Back in just a moment. 35-8 Fountain Lake, 92-9 KVRE. The injured player for Centerpoint is the running back, number 32, Corey Passmore, who favors his right leg as he comes off the field on his own accord here. And we wish him the best of luck, a speedy return to action tonight here in this one. As it stands, 2:23 to play in the first half.
Well,
Fountain Lake 35, Centerpoint 8.
Mark, we've seen that before back in the day. I don't know if we still, the old hurdle stretch, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
And his, he just stretched it a little bit too much, but he came off the field, like you said, on his own recognizance, and so he'll be back in. He just got to stretch it out a little bit more.
He was one of the three heads on this three-headed monster on offense for Centerpoint now. Here's the jet sweep, handoff Cox, who sheds a tackle, dives right up the middle, and he'll get some positive yardage here. And I believe somebody lost a shoe in the process down on the field. It's okay. Elijah Childs has it back, and it will be 3rd down and 11 for the Knights.
That kid's something else. I'm going to tell you what. He was going so
you don't
fast.
Need it.
He was running out of his shoe. He was going so fast.
If you know Elijah Childs, he'd rather play barefoot anyway.
And not a helmet.
He don't need that.
He doesn't need a
Just
helmet.
gets in the way.
Now, Centerpoint's going to head and call that timeout, Mark, and we'll see what. Or wait a minute.
No.
Fountain Lake's
calling. Well, here's the deal, Tracy. The Cobras are within striking distance of possibly turning on the sportsmanship clock.
That's the deal.
Going into the second half. Happened last week against him. They'd love to get in and out of this one. Hey, something we haven't talked about tonight. There's a bye week coming up next week. Whatever you guys want to do next Friday night, hey, let us know. Let our wives know, too, so they can come along. But we don't got plans next Friday night.
I didn't even thought about that, Mark. Wow.
Maybe you can go like
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Barehanded catfishing or whatever it is you do on the weekends. Go chase hogs in the woods.
Oh, yeah. If they do get the ball back and score a touchdown, they're obviously going to have to go for a 2-point conversion, correct? Because they have the 2-point conversion. Make that clear to everybody out there.
Yeah, so it'd be a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for Fountain Lake to find that perfect math here. But first, they've got to get the football back. 3rd down and 11 for Centerpoint. They're still in the timeout here. Late stages of the second quarter, 1:43 to go. Hey, don't forget, coming up at halftime, it's our 50th anniversary of Fountain Lake football. We have a great interview lined up for this week. I'll tell you more when we get a little bit closer to it. But when halftime comes, I mean, River's coming and John's coming. You're not turning us off anyway.
Yep, no.
We got a great interview.
Hey, don't forget now, Big Red Realty. They've been around a long time. Give them a call, 623-7905.
On 3rd down, Valdez takes the snap. Hit as he throws. Nate Jordan there on the disruption. Incomplete pass. That is now 4 straight incompletions for Valdez. It's 4th and 11.
Mark, that surprised me right there with that call because that stopped the clock.
Yes.
In Fountain Lake.
That's exactly what Fountain Lake wanted, calling the timeout in the first place.
They've been so efficient at running that counter draw to number 0. I just thought that play was going to come up.
And with the way that the Cobras have efficiently moved the ball downfield and scored on every possession here, I think that this could be the opportunity Fountain Lake has been looking for. Now it's 4th and 11. Centerpoint looks like they're going to be going for it from their own 39-yard line. No signs of punt unit. They're going to send 3 wide, 4 wide to the right-hand side.
They got him. Oh, they moved too, though. That right tackle moved.
So a flag flies. Is it encroachment or is it false start? This officiating crew's got their work cut out for them here. It is false start.
Yeah.
It's against the Knights here. It's going to back them up 5 to a 4th and 16. Hey, I love the play call from Centerpoint there. Trying to get a little bit of extra yardage, make it look a little bit more manageable. But now that it's 4th and 16, surely this looks like a punt unit coming out.
Well, you would think so now that they really backed up. But Mark, quit calling me Shirley.
Call you whatever I want. Tracy. On 4th down, Centerpoint takes the snap, punts it away. One man back to return. It's Harwood who takes it on a bounce.
No.
Bounces off of Harwood. Uh-oh, this is trouble. Centerpoint's got the football. A bad bounce off of Harwood. Centerpoint's got it right around the red zone. 22-yard line. That is big for Centerpoint. Trying to stay alive in this football game tonight.
You are listening to Fountain Lake Football at 92.9 and streaming at kvre.com. It is 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock here from Centerpoint High School where the Knights continue to fight down 35-8. 92 seconds to go in the first half. And a punt recovered by the home team. Valdez takes the snap on 1st and 10. Valdez is going to drop the ball. Pressure's coming in. Nate Jordan falls on top of it. It squeaks away from Jordan. I believe Fountain Lake's got the ball. They do. Back and forth we go. The Cobras pick up the fumble.
Man, oh, man.
I know Nate Jordan fell on top of it initially. It looked like it squeaked out from under him. Didn't see who picked it up. It may very well have been
Jaden Irwin.
It is Jaden Irwin.
Jaden Irwin had the balls. The tag team, Mark, man,
those two.
They just feed off each other, don't they?
Oh, they do, and I love it. Two young men, not a lot of words. They don't have to say a lot. They speak a lot with their actions down on the field. So it's 1st and 10, Fountain Lake. Cobras have the football from the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. Bus in the shotgun, takes the snap, has time, throws, has a catch, right-hand side, and ran out of bounds at the 34, Dalen Morris on the reception.
Okay, good completion there, and smart enough to make an effort and got out of bounds. How about that for a sophomore? That's another super sophomore, Mark.
Gain of 5 on the catch by Morris. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Mark, what that does, though, a little short out like that, it draws your D-backs in to where you can make that, get and go. So we'll see what happens. Single coverage over here, Mark, with a new freshman because if you recall, 32's out.
That's right, Tracy. Big news for Case Hare fans. It's 2nd down and 5. Here's the pass to Hare. Hare runs past a sophomore defender. Running down the field. He's knocked out of bounds. The ball was stripped away out of bounds, but Hare gets a good run all the way to midfield. A gain of 18.
Well, sure enough, man, I'm telling you what, another plus had the, recognizance to be able to get out of bounds. Big time play.
Hare is now 7 yards away from breaking the 200-yard receiving mark in the first half. New set of downs. Cobras move left to right on your radio dial. The ball is on the 50-yard line. Cooper Bus in the shotgun, 5 wide, 3 right, 2 left. Bus calls for the ball, and flags will fly. I believe this is false start against the offense.
A little bit too quick on the call.
One of the linemen moved early, and it was all set up, honestly, by the defensive line. They caused him to jump. I'm not sure what was said or what was heard.
Mark,
it worked against Fountain Lake.
That's our first false start of the night, though, and so, we've had an offsides on defense, but that's our offense's. Plus, with that holding, only 2 penalties tonight on offense, 2 on defense, Mark, so not too bad.
1:11 to play in the half. Cobras have a 1st and 15 from the 45-yard line. The snap to Bus. Bus, with time, rolls right, throws, and has a man. Harwood was left wide open. He steps out of bounds inside Centerpoint territory, and that is down at the 36-yard line. Gain of 19.
Mark, they're working on the cornerback over here, number 23, Flanagan, who's the backup for number 32, if you recall.
That's right.
Who has a
That's
little
Passmore.
bit. Yeah. So a sophomore with a receiver that's historically going to be one of the best ones in Fountain Lake history and probably in the conference. That's something that you want all the way for the offense.
Morris and Hare wide to the right on 1st and 10. Bus, the snap, footsteps coming, throws for Hare, tippy-toe, lemon tree. Did he make the catch? Oh, yes, he did. Case Hare with another great grab down to the 22.
Mark, I'm not saying anything right now, but somebody in only one half is making a big move to be the Fountain Lake featured Cobra.
He is now over that 200-yard receiving mark in the first half. What a night, Case Hare.
Still 59 seconds left, Mark. Unbelievable march down the field in less than 20 seconds.
Case Hare with 2 touchdowns tonight. Maybe looking for number 3. I don't know. Cooper Bus, 1st and 10 from the 22. Has the snap. Quick pitch. Devin Williams caught at the 20-yard line. Williams works the middle. 15-10. Ball pops free. No big deal. It's out of bounds. They'll spot him out of bounds at what looks to be the 13. Gain of 9.
Boy, they're working that out of bounds to a T, Mark. They've still got 2 timeouts left, but once again, we're in the Big Red Realty red zone.
What a turnaround. You can tell they've been studying game film. That loss to Smackover put a sour taste in this team's mouth last Friday night. The Cobras have a 1st and 10 from the 12. Bus the snap. Looking for a man in the end zone. Overthrows Harwood to stop the clock.
Yeah, just a little bit too much over him. But, hey, you got to give credit to this offensive line. They are giving him plenty, and I mean plenty of time working on the outside right
They
here.
really are.
Well, a big task tonight, I'm telling you right now. Caleb Bean is really getting after it. They're double downing with that linebacker, and Caleb Bean is really making emphasis and just clogging up that middle. Good job on his part.
On 2nd and 10, busts the snap, fakes the handoff. Pressure. Looking for a man, throws it down into the turf short of Case Hare. He didn't really have a target here. Coach Rogers wants intentional grounding. He's not going to get it. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the 21st pass attempt of the game for Cooper Bus.
Mark, we got lucky there. We certainly got lucky there. I'll be honest with you, Mark. He wasn't outside the tackle box, but hey, I mean, we'll take it. But boy, their coach is livid. Look, he may get a penalty. He needs to come back.
You lose all the opportunities you don't take, I guess. 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the 12, high snap picked up by Bus. Bus throws the home run ball for Harwood. End zone.
Man.
Couldn't connect.
Well,
That brings up 4th down. Now, obviously, deep inside Centerpoint territory, you're going to go for it here. But how do they go for it here?
we've had that connection before, Mark. We've talked about this. We actually got somebody that can kick the ball, but I still think that they're keying in on this touchdown right now, Mark.
3 straight incompletions for Cooper Bus. It's 4th down. Ball at the 12-yard line of Centerpoint. Cobras want a touchdown and a 2-point before the half.
They've already brought in different cornerbacks, Mark.
With 36 seconds to go, Bus the snap, pressure. Bus is going to be brought down. No flag.
Face mask right away.
It'll be a turnover on downs. It'll be the first time tonight the Cobras have been stopped. Centerpoint takes over from its own 29.
Well, sure enough, they came with the all-out blitz. Here's a shift in their defense, though, Mark. They took out a couple of those sophomores and replaced them, I guess, with some different key players, but they were able to cover Hare a little bit better because he's the one that's been open all night on this right-hand side. They doubled down on him, so they definitely changed their defensive style to be able to get the ball back with 31 seconds left, 35-8.
Loss of 16 on the turnover on downs. Centerpoint has 31 seconds. Here's the snap. Handoff. Dotson, the fullback, rushes to the right. Doesn't get much. Clock's going to continue to run here. Centerpoint with 1 timeout left, I believe.
I think everybody's just ready to, like we said earlier, with the weather the way it is right now, as hot as it is, I think everybody's ready to get inside that locker room and get some juice in them.
It looks like Centerpoint may call a timeout and leave just one last play available.
No, they're ready to go.
In the second.
They're ready to go.
No, they're going to let the clock run out.
Yeah.
Halftime from Centerpoint High School, where Fountain Lake leads 35-8. Coming up at halftime, we'll have John Chapman back in the KVRE studios with scores from around the county and the conference. River Oliver will be joining us in a few minutes as well. But first, 50 years of Fountain Lake football. And tonight we have a very special interview to bring your way next. A young man who is still leading young men on Friday nights, and he's probably wearing a pair of shorts out there tonight as well. The head coach of the 2009 state champion Fountain Lake Cobras, Tommy Gillerin, joins us next on 92.9 KVRE. It's the 50th anniversary of Fountain Lake football, and all season long, we are catching up with old friends, former players, former coaches that not only had an impact in their time as a Cobra, but their time off the field as well. And we're sitting here with a very special guest this week, head coach of the 2009 state championship Fountain Lake Cobras, Coach Tommy Gillerin. You were with Fountain Lake for 16 years. How did you get started as a Cobra?
I was actually the head coach at Dover. There was an opening here at Fountain Lake for a defensive coordinator, and my wife's from Fountain Lake, and we always wanted to get back to Hot Springs. I went to Fountain Lake in 2001 and was an assistant for Mark for 2 years as defensive coordinator, and then in 2003 I became the head coach, and then from then on, until 2016 I was the head coach there. It was a good move for us. Got to come home for my wife. My family's here, her family's there, and so it was a good move for us.
Take me through that 2009 season. You may have already knew that this was a championship caliber team, but at what point during that 2009 season did you really know and believe, this is our year?
Yeah, an 2008 team, man, we broke records like you've never seen. I felt like we left a lot on the table in that finals. We were very blessed that year. scored 52 points a game, had 5,419 yards rushing. That's the most I've ever had. So I remember that number because it's like –
You pulled that straight off the cuff without a sheet in front. I want the listeners to know that Coach Gillerin knows that off the top of the dome.
So we were very blessed, and, that we were just – we were very – three – had 4 or 5 good running backs. Mark Macon was a backup. The next year we transitioned to 09. I knew our defense was really good, and I knew our offense would get there. And then, we had the quarterback back, David Gray. He's phenomenal. Of course, he's, 26-2 as a starter. And he started at safety for us, too. He was one of those kids that could play both ways and play quarterback well. And by his senior year, he threw the ball so much better. And so in 09, he could throw it a little better, but he also could run it. And then when Mark Macon became the starter, big thing we were looking for, we lost our fullback, Andrew Davis, and so we moved through some kids that played fullback. And Tyler Snyder ended up being the guy we had. Of course, Tyler played linebacker, but we rotated some other people through at fullback too to give, Tyler a break for defense. But Tyler was a phenomenal linebacker. That dude there had over 100 tackles a year, but Tyler had that knack of making tackles and making people not, he didn't get blocked. You can't teach it. Kids either have it or they don't have it, and he had it. That team was very smart, did a lot of things right. Defensively, we were probably the best we've ever been. Of course, DeArmond was there. By then, me and him kind of knew each other well and had everything worked out. Everything just fell in place. We won that championship game 37-7. It was never really a game, for us to win it, because you think about it. In 04, our big cry was make the playoffs. They hadn't made the playoffs. I know that year in 04 was 17 years. That group got it all started. That year there I did the 4-H camp where we take them to 4-H in Ferndale and did team bonding. And then, the father-son thing, I started doing that too, where the fathers and their son, we go camp for a night and grow the father's relationship with the son and get to know him better. And, we still do that today, and I think that's probably one of the best things I do. Man, that time was great. It's a great family over there, great kids. It's similar to Lake Hamilton, there's just less of them. Tough country kids that want to hit you and run over you and be physical. It's the same over here today.
What does winning that state championship mean for you in terms of your personal journey through coaching?
I tell people, my very first year as a head coach was in 1997, and I went 0-10. And so I sit there and think I went from 0-10 to winning a state title that people didn't think I could coach. Of course, I was 26 at the time, but I went from, people challenging me about, can you do it, to in 2009 winning a state title. It's a neat thing in coaching to have a chance to win them. There's tons of friends of mine that have never won one. For me to have an opportunity to win one, that's a blessing from the Lord, I tell you, because for him to put me at Fountain Lake and for me to have that team and for all that stuff to go down, it's just perfect.
Win or lose, no matter what happens at the end of the season, whenever the final whistle blows, what is that lesson that you hope that every single player that walks through the door hopes to get from being in your system?
The thing that you can't learn in the classroom that you learn in sports is, first of all, they're going to be a husband one day. I want you to be the best husband you can be. Then I want you to be the best father. I want you to go to work every day and be the best worker. That's what we try to train them to do, that they can go out and do those things, that they can love their wife and they can love their kids, and then they can, treat their work like it matters and do the best they can, no matter what they're doing in life, that those things are. I always tell the kids there's 2 important lessons in life. Number 1 is the salvation in Jesus Christ. If you come to know who he is, it'll change your life forever. It changed mine. It made a difference in mine because it became about we and not me. It teaches all about loving other people and serving other people, and not about serving yourself. And then the second thing is who you marry. Your spouse that you're wanting to spend the rest of your life with is very important. And so I was very blessed with 2 very good parents that loved me and taught me how to be a good father. I'm not perfect. Nobody is, but, we sure try to do the best we can. All my kids are in education but one. Dale and his wife are. My wife is. My youngest daughter just graduated. She's teaching. Sarah, my middle daughter, she's working for Elder Care, an insurance company. They know how important education is for them to come back after seeing me in it. To me, it's one of the greatest professions out there. The thing you want to do is impact kids' lives forever. And how do you do that? Well, be a part of it. It's about building some really good kids and giving them great character lives and lessons that they can use the rest of their life.
Coach Tommy Gillerin of Lake Hamilton High School, but once a Cobra, always a Cobra, and we're so excited that your story continues even over in your alma mater. No matter where you're suiting up for, we know that one thing is for sure, that we are continuing to develop great young men right here in Garland County. Thank you so much for taking time with us this week.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for doing this. I know you've done a great job, Mark. You've been there a long time. I appreciate what you've done for that school.
All season long, we're catching up with old friends, former players, former coaches. It's the 50th year of Fountain Lake football right here on 92.9 KVRE and online at kvre.com. Halftime here from Centerpoint High School, where the Cobras lead 35-8. I'm Mark Oliver, joined by everyone's favorite 7-year-old Fountain Lake superfan, River Oliver. It's River time. River, what's up, buddy? Had a good week this week?
Yeah.
I know that you were super excited to tell the whole world about something this week. What is that you want the whole world to know?
My shirt.
You got a new shirt this week. Thanks, Mom, by the way. All right, well, they can't see the shirt. It's radio, so you got to tell them about your new favorite shirt that you have.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. River loves, I guess, horror movies. Is that what we would call it? He's a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. All the kids at home listening, they're like, yep, that's my jam. I know what he's talking about. But you had a chance to wear it to school today, and you're like pretty much the most popular kid in school over Mountain Pine, right? I think it's pretty much safe to say that.
Definitely not.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to disagree with you on that. Let's look at some of the first half stats tonight, River. Fountain Lake coming out and looking very, very good so far. They've scored on 5 of 6 drives, turning the ball over on this last possession. But touchdown passes, touchdown runs, Cooper Bus doing Cooper Bus things through the air tonight, 339 yards, 17 out of 22 for 4 touchdowns. The longest of those touchdowns, a 57-yarder. That started the contest to Case Hare. Let's talk about Case Hare. He leads the team in receiving yards tonight. River, he has how many catches tonight?
8.
8 catches for how many yards tonight?
207.
207. 2 touchdowns. And, hey, Peyton Harwood not having a bad night either tonight. Peyton Harwood has how many catches tonight?
5.
For how many yards?
2.
82. 5 for 82 and 2 touchdowns for Harwood. Also in the receiving game, Devin Williams, 2 receptions for 31. Calicote with a big reception for 14. And Dalen Morris, 1 for 5. In the running game tonight, Cooper Bus has a 3-yard touchdown run tonight. Devin Williams has 3 rushes for 4 yards tonight. And the Cobras looking really, really good behind Nate Jordan. Lots of PATs. Jaden Irwin has a sack. Nate Jordan has a sack. And Logan Rhodes with a big fumble recovery. Let's take a look at Centerpoint now. The quarterback, Tony Valdez, 3 for 8 through the air, 48 yards. And in the receiving game, they're led by number 2, Miot. 2 pickups, 26 yards. Cox with 1 reception for 22. In the running game, they're led by Dustin Cox, number 0. 4 carries tonight, 33 yards, and a 10-yard rushing score. River, I thought we'd play a fun game here real quick and let the fans know a little bit more about you. I'm going to throw the lightning round questions at you. 5 questions coming your way. You ready to rock?
Yeah.
All right, first question. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would your superpower be?
Super smart.
Super smarts, super brains. Okay, all right, tell me the Powerball numbers when you get it, okay? Question number 2, what's a special skill that you have?
Knowing sports off the top of my head.
Knowing sports off the top of your head. Hey, that goes to some of those super smarts out there as well. Let's see, here's another one for you. What's your favorite animal?
Pandas.
Pandas, absolutely. Pandas are a good one. Let's see. Let's go down the list here. Oh, this is always a good one. Think about everything that you have at home that you care about. You're stuck on a desert island waiting for mom and dad to come rescue you. What do you bring with you? What 3 things at the house do you bring with you to keep you busy on the island?
Xbox, TV, plugins.
Plugins. Oh, yeah. You might want to bring some electricity with you as well. What Xbox game you playing?
Roblox.
Roblox. Of course it's Roblox. All right, all right. Let's see. A couple more questions for you. Who is your best friend at school?
Mary.
Mary, okay. And last question for you, River. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Everyone.
Everyone in the world, especially that mom listening back home in Hot Springs and those two knucklehead brothers, Michael and Ben, out there as well. We love you guys. 35-8, your score here at the break. We're going to take a quick break. River will rejoin us in just a moment, but we're going to go to the KVRE studios. John Chapman is standing by with scores around the county and around the conference. There's some big games happening in Arkansas tonight. He's got the scoop when we come back on 92.9. KVRE.
Bye.
When you're shopping for
Go Cobras.
Halftime here from Centerpoint High School. Fountain Lake leading 35-8. I'm Mark Oliver. He's River Oliver. And now it's time for everyone's favorite football segment, River's Play of the Game. River, they're listening in the locker room right now. They're needing your help. Fountain Lake hoping to come out whenever they do get the football in the second half. They want to get on the scoreboard, punch in a 2-point conversion. How do they get the touchdown?
Cooper to Case. Case jukes out the defender, and the defender gets juked out.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, last week, River's Play of the Game not only was utilized early in the third quarter, but it did go for a touchdown, and it was your guy, Case Hare, getting it done as well. Case has been getting it done all night long tonight. Once again, a huge night for Hare, a career night in the first half. 8 receptions, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. River, you said, hey, your superpower is to have all-knowing smarts out there. Hey, listen, I'm putting my trust in you, kiddo, because I think it's a great play. I really do. I really do. All right, so now let's look at it from the Centerpoint point of view as well. They started to finally kind of key in, and they stopped Fountain Lake finally on that last drive before halftime. When you're facing down 2 monstrous receivers like a Case here, like a Peyton Harwood, what can you do on defense to stop something like that?
You can try your best and walk as hard as you can.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And we're getting set for the start of the third quarter here at Centerpoint High School. As a reminder, no game. Next Friday night, we'll be on a bye week, and we will return for Week 4, homecoming against the Bauxite Miners. And you know what that means. Homecoming on the horizon. That means our next Clampett's Country Kitchen featured Cobra Player of the Week will be chosen by you. That's right. The Facebook fan vote returns. Be looking out on our Facebook page. If you're not liking it already, shame on you, but I forgive you. Facebook.com/FL Radio. Look this weekend. The fan vote will come out, and how it works, same as it always does. We're going to nominate every player on the team that hasn't received the honor yet. All you have to do is like the comment in the post for the person you want to vote for. You can vote for as many players as you want. You can vote for the whole team. We're excited to see who you pick. The Facebook fan vote returns for the next time we return, a couple weeks from tonight, Fountain Lake and Bauxite. Tracy Simpson rejoins me as we start the third quarter here. Fountain Lake will be kicking. The Knights will be receiving, moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's the kick, fielded by the Knights from the 20-yard line. Here comes Centerpoint on the move. Out past the 30, to the 35, and the 40. Out to the 44-yard line. Excellent return for the Knights, opening up shop to start the second half.
Mark, that's one thing that, if anything, tonight we need to really concentrate on, and they talked about that in the field house. They're doing some great things on kickoff. And, of course, you know, kicking off 8 times, you can work on that quite a bit.
Yes.
But they want to concentrate more on gang tackling. Williams is obviously our safety on when, you know, you have a safety when it comes to the kickoffs. And he's made 3 of those tackles. That's not who you want tackling on the kickoff. So they've got a few things to work on, even at 35-8, Mark.
From the 43-yard line, 1st and 10, Centerpoint. They'll open things up with a jet sweep to Dustin Cox. Cox brought down by Jaden Irwin on the tackle, Preston Harness as well, but it's an 11-yard gain to move the chains inside Cobra Country.
Mark, there's that same play that he ran 17 yards on to begin with in
That's
the
right.
first quarter. I mean, that jet sweep sort of stutter step counter, and he's just getting up too much head of steam before our linebacker's able to come over and keep up with him. But as soon as you see him coming back in motion, somebody's got to roll with him.
Ball is down to the 47-yard line of Fountain Lake. Centerpoint on the opening drive of the second half, trailing 35-8. Valdez, low snap, handoff up the middle, and that's Dodson, the fullback, brought down, and Elijah Childs makes a huge tackle.
Yep. I talked to Elijah while I was in there, and I said, "Are you going to play with both shoes on this app?" He goes, "Yeah, but do I have to wear my helmet?" Mark, you called it.
I knew I called it. So loss of 1 on a great tackle made by Childs. Dodson, his 7th carry of the football game. He has 4 yards tonight. That'll bring up second down for the Centerpoint Knights here. 2nd and 11. Valdez fakes the handoff, takes the snap, runs out of the pocket, and he's going to have to take it himself. Quarterback keeper, wide open spaces, has the first. Stutter step, stays in play inside the 30-yard line, down to around the 28. Big pickup, 20 yards.
Mark, and that was what we came into this game worried about, was him, getting pressured and then not being able to contain him within the tackles. They've done a great job so far tonight, but that right there was one of those mishaps. He dodged a couple of would-be tacklers, was able to get outside, and like I always say, the sideline is your friend, and he got to that sideline and make the most of it.
2 weeks ago, we saw Fountain Lake at home against Carter Morning Star in a very similar situation, looking to put an end to the game. But that exclamation point, and defensively, Fountain Lake looking to stop the Centerpoint Knights here so they can have a chance to do so. Handoff, Dodson, fullback carry, up the middle, down to the 25-yard line, gain of 2.
Yeah, big-time defensive stand, though, so far as going up the inside. Hey, Joshua Donaldson making a little bit of move inside there with the defensive coming in for the Cobras and making his pocket known there. Not too bad.
2nd and 8, football at the 25-yard line of Fountain Lake. Centerpoint beginning to knock on the door here early in the third quarter, 9:33 and counting. Valdez operates in the shotgun, sends a man in motion to the right-hand side, fakes the handoff, and he's going to evade the blitz, dive right up the middle, get some positive yardage in the process, give him about 3. Let's see, it looks like we're going to give him 3 yards up the middle. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Knights.
Yep, Gambler staying at home that time and able to just slant in on what you would call a crash, and so to speak. So defensive line putting the pressure on him. He sort of snaked through there, but putting a stop on him before he made that big game. Obviously, 4-down territory, Mark.
3rd down and 5. Ball at the 21-yard line of Fountain Lake. They'll cut 2 guys off the right-hand side, move them to the left. It's Miot and Cox. Here's the snap. Here's the reverse to Cox, right-hand side. Did the defense see it? I don't think so. And Cox gets a big gain inside the 10, down around the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Perfect play, that counter trap, so to speak. That's a play that from the blast of the past from Fountain Lake used to run that when Tommy Gillerin was coaching, a 121 counter. And that's the exact same play. And sure enough, you can catch some people off guard, and they caught the defense off guard them.
I loved catching up with Tommy Gillerin in this 50-year anniversary celebration, these interviews. It's literally a time capsule for Fountain Lake football, and it's not been done before. And the stories, I mean, we shortened that interview to 5 minutes. We were in there for almost an hour just talking football in the good old days. Here's a handoff. Valdez up the middle. He'll fake the handoff, and he's going to fall right down at the 7. No gain. 2nd and goal.
And for a second there, I thought that their right tackle sort of jumped. I guess he timed it perfect, Mark, but it actually caught the rest of the Knights' offensive line off guard, because I think their left guard was supposed to pull, and he ended up running into his center. So, loss of yardage actually there, huh, Mark?
It'll be second down and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line of Fountain Lake. Valdez, the snap, throws across the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Number 5 for the Centerpoint Knights, Christopher Borgeson.
That's that drag, Mark, that we've talked about all night, and actually it was right there off his fingertips. And, he's completed 2 across the middle with him on that drag. That was just a little out pattern into the flats, but nobody was out there with him. A good call, but just didn't make it happen for the Knights defense. Here we go, coming up big, maybe a big D stand to get that offense back on there, Mark.
Hey, the pressure's on for Centerpoint right now. 3rd and goal from the 7. Valdez has 5 consecutive incompletions. He's only 3 of 9 through the air tonight. He's going to attempt another one here. Snap, thrown, and it's nearly intercepted.
Man,
Preston Harness couldn't get to it in time. It does bring up 4th down for Centerpoint, and you got to think back against the wall. They're going to go for it. It's just a question of how.
That was right there, Mark. Oh, my goodness.
And Michael O'Brien is like, oh, man, I almost had that one. Tipped it. Harness couldn't get to it in time. Centerpoint keeps the ball, but it's 4th down. 4th and goal from the 7-yard line.
Well, this is one that they're going to look back on if they don't commit to the touchdown here. They're going to say, we had a chance. Come on, defense. Let's go.
Are watching Cox on this one. He pulls off the left-hand side, lines up on the right, to the right of Valdez. The snap, the throw, looking for Cox, and it is intercepted in the end zone by the Cobras. It will be an interception and a touchback. Fountain Lake gets the ball back. Turnover on downs.
Mark, that right there. Now listen to this. You know how big this play is? What does that do? Instead of the incomplete pass to where it should have been back on the 7-yard line, that's going to come out to the 20 now, Mark.
Yep,
because of the interception.
Real estate.
Yeah, so a big-time play right there. And so, that's a heads-up play right there. Mark, we talk about this week to week about how they're learning and they're growing. And that right there that's football knowledge right there.
I mean, look at all the mistakes that they've corrected just from a week ago. I mean, it's like watching their kids grow up.
It is, brother. It is.
1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff, Williams. Williams is going to dive up the middle, see what he can get there, and it's a positive gain for Fountain Lake. It looks like they're going to spot the ball out around the 24-yard line. Gain of 4 for Williams. Keeps the clock moving, too.
There you go, Mark. You just took my thunder because I'm going to go right now at it. Look, 35-8, and they're moving the ball again. But once again, Coach wants to get down there and get another score and get that clock moving, get these kids out of this heat.
It'll be 2nd down at about 6. Bus, the snap, Case here, wide open on the right-hand side, evades a defender. Evades another defender, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Inside the 20 to the 15. Case Hare, have yourself a night, young man.
Mark, I think he lost where he was for a second because this side of the field, the grass has grown up a little bit, and he didn't see the chalk marks on the sidelines. And so if he just kept running, and he had to walk the tightrope because he almost ran out of bounds before he gained another 10 yards.
64 yards on the reception for Case Hare. Forget 200 yards. He's closing in on 300 receiving yards tonight. 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Bus drops back, throws, looking for a man Williams, too short, incomplete. It was a full blitz coming in from Centerpoint here.
They read that one. Yeah,
incomplete pass.
Yeah, they tried the bubble screen one too many times. And I've got to give some bragging rights. The kid that's played a well of a ball game for Centerpoint tonight, number 0, he's just played his tail off.
That's Dustin Cox. We've called his name a number of times.
He read that play perfect, Mark. He's the one that dispelled it and came up and once Cooper saw that he was running over there, because he was going to get the sack, because Cooper, drew him in that much. That's what you do when you throw that little screen.
It's 2nd down and 10. Bus takes the snap, checks his receivers. There's an opening.
He's got
Bus
it.
is going to take it himself. Inside the 10,
He's got room.
5, and wide open into the promised land. Touchdown Cobras. Bus takes it in 16 yards.
Holy cow. You talk about scrambling. He was in the pocket for a second, went through his progressions, right, middle, left, nobody. Well, then he called number 4. Hey, fourth position because he's number 5, but in for the touchdown. A scamper, like Mark said, for another 6 points. Fountain Lake. And man, oh man, are they going to go for 2, Mark?
They are going to go for 2 here, Tracy. This is an opportunity here to turn on the sportsmanship clock, I believe. Bus is going to take the snap, fakes the handoff, throws across the middle, and is broken up, incomplete. And a big sigh of relief if you're Centerpoint. You stay alive, and that clock stays on your side. 41-8, Fountain Lake. Let's take a break. 6:18 to play in the third. We're back in a moment on 92.9 KVRE. 6:18 to play in the third quarter. Fountain Lake is back on the board. It's a Cooper Bus touchdown run, 16 yards, but the 2-point conversion, not good. Centerpoint gets another chance here. 6:18 to go, down 41-8. Fountain Lake, deep end-over-end kick on its way, fielded by the Knights at the 20-yard line. Here comes Centerpoint. Centerpoint out to the 35-yard line, out to the 39-yard line. Decent return of 19 yards, and the Knights fight to stay alive here at home, trying to avoid going 0-2 on the young season.
Yeah, Mark, once again, defense coming up, big turnovers on down positions and got some interceptions, got, some fumbles. Right now they're back on the field, but I think you're going to see, we've got a whole new squad here, Mark.
A lot of new faces.
That's our whole JV right here.
I mean, Tracy, you love to see it out there because these guys need that experience too. It's a long season ahead. This is just game 3 out of 10 in the regular season.
Well, they've got the whole JV in right now, so we'll see what happens.
Valdez hands it off to Dustin Cox on the first play from scrimmage. On 1st and 10,
big tackle.
Cox is wrapped up and brought down. Huge tackle made there by Fountain Lake, and high fives and handshakes everywhere. What a stop.
Big time by Cason Collins there.
Cason Collins.
I mean, whoa.
With the Superman move there.
Suplex. So, man, unbelievable.
Cox with a 3-yard gain there. And look, the way that he's been running tonight, that absolutely could have been more. Collins says, not here, not tonight. So 2nd down and 7 coming up for Centerpoint here. 5:30 to go in the third. Ball's at the 43-yard line. Valdez operates out of the shotgun, 2 wide to the left. Valdez hands it off. No, a fake. Throwing downfield, and it is nearly intercepted. The pass intended for Cox downfield, couldn't get to it in time. Great job by Fountain Lake.
Yeah,
and once again, you got to call the name of Kyler Calicote out there. Big catch earlier, now big defensive stop against arguably the biggest young man on the field from Centerpoint.
And he has had a great game tonight. But, man, I'll tell you, that was a big you should have seen him in the locker room at halftime with that grin after that. I said, good catch out there.
It all starts with one play. That one moment. We're excited to see what he does next. 3rd down and 7 after the incompletion. Ball from the 43, Centerpoint moving right to left on your radio dial with the longer field. Here's the handoff to Dodson, the fullback. He cuts up the middle, evading defenders, has the first down, cross midfield from the 45 to the 44. Big gain for Dodson. It's a gain of 13. That's his longest carry of the ball game.
Mark, I'm going to tell you what, that was a big gain, but I'm going to give a little credit right here to Nick Lester, number 55. He actually held him on the outside from, like I always say, the sideline is your friend. But he pushed him back in to where the rest of the Cobras were able to come up and make a tackle. No, he didn't get the tackle, but he helped to the assist.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the third. New life for the Knights. 1st and 10. Handoff, Dodson. Dodson met in the backfield. Brought down. Ball is on the ground. Fountain Lake believes they have it. Yeah. We'll see. Coming out of the pile, it'll be Centerpoint with the ball. That was a close call for the purple and gold.
That was a real close call. And you talk about ball friendly. It fell down, went twice on the ground, and then came right back to him. I don't know, a magnet on there or something.
It'll be 2nd down and 13. The loss of 3 on the fumble. Ball is going to be on the 47-yard line of the Fountain Lake Cobras. 4:06 to go in the third. Valdez in the shotgun, 2 wide right. Here's the snap. Valdez rolls left, has time in the pocket, throws across the middle, and it's in and out.
Nick.
Nearly intercepted by the Cobras.
Nick was there.
Nick
My
Lester was
goodness.
there. He's like, wait, no! Couldn't turn on the matrix moves quick enough.
I don't think he's been that close to an interception in his life. But you know what? He was on the ball right there. And I tell you what, that was that same play that earlier that number 5's been catching all night long, little swing out into the flats. And Nick was out there right there on top of it.
Nick Lester really heating up defensively for this Fountain Lake team here. Love to see it. 3:56 to go in the third. Third down and 13. Ball at the 47-yard line of Fountain Lake. Valdez, here's the reverse to Cox. Cox on the move. Cox looking for the first down. He's going to get it. Wrapped up by the Cobras. And inside the 30 to around the 27. What a run, 20 yards.
And who was in on the tackle? Nick Lester. How about that? Oh.
Somebody get that dude some pizza.
He needs something. I know Mama's listening in. Hey, big throw out. Hey, shout out to Grandpa Jim
Yes.
out in California.
What's up, Jim?
Yeah.
Everybody having a great time here tonight in Centerpoint, and really just trying to right the ship from last week. And I think the output of the team tonight really shows just how high quality of an opponent Smackover was last week. I was watching some of the scores, and they're hanging tough with Junction City, who's the number 1 ranked team in Class 2A. Smackover actually leading that battle tonight. Here is Valdez on a quarterback keeper. Left-hand side, well within the 20, down to around the 15-yard line. Give him 12 and another new set of downs.
And you know what, though? I'm going to tell you what. He's given up, the defense has given up a couple of those runs, but not near what he's capable of doing. And, yeah, he's tacked on a few, 20 here, 18. But, he's averaging over 100 yards a game. So they've kept him below his average, which is huge, Mark.
And I love so much that the second-team defense is out for Fountain Lake here because, they could try to force a stop and, try to get another score and, just get this game going home. No, this is free game time experience for your backup units, and who knows when their number will be called this season. Centerpoint with the handoff on the right-hand edge here. It's number 5 getting the call. That's Christopher Borgeson. Borgeson is going to be brought down, I believe, at the 1. Gain of 14. Here comes first and goal.
Yep, sure enough, a good run there on that inside. Just a little pitch on, not quite the counter, but just a regular handoff with some leading blockers in front of them. That's primarily the main basis of this Centerpoint night offense, Mark.
Centerpoint knocking on the door, hoping to get back on the board here at home. 2:13 to go in the third. They're 1 yard away. Here's the snap. Handoff, Borgeson, and he is leveled. Oh, no, he's into the end zone. Tackle pushed him forward. Borgeson is in for the score. Centerpoint back on the board.
Well, forward motion is what he got him, but you're right, Mark. He got smacked as soon as he got, maybe across the touchdown marker, but they came up and, put a lick on him, and he did go backwards, but forward progress already had him across the goal line.
Centerpoint electing to go for 2 here. Down 41-14, just trying to stay alive in this one. Fountain Lake hoping to stop the 2-point conversion here with the offense ready to rock coming up next. 2:05 to go in the third. Here we go. First, this will be the 2-point conversion attempt, Borgeson, the running back. Valdez hands it off to Borgeson, who's brought down immediately. So the 2-point conversion, no good. We'll take a break. 2:05 to play in the third. Cobras lead at 41-14 on 92.9 KVRE. Centerpoint back on the board with a touchdown run from Borgeson. A 1-yard scamper, 41-14 Fountain Lake. Hey, we know you're listening out there. We want to hear from you. You can text us right now, 501-915-1300. That's the KVRE text line. We'll give you a shout out on the broadcast. Let us know where you're watching from, and maybe who you're cheering on tonight as well. We'd love to hear from you.
And if you've got some scores out there you want to relate to us, hey, throw some scores at us. We'd love to bring them across the air.
There's some big games going on in the state of Arkansas tonight. Fountain Lake football leading 41-14, 2:05 to go in the third. The Cobras are going to get the football here. On the kickoff, it's Case Hare picking it up at the 25-yard line. They'll build the wall in front of Hare. Hare, 40. 45, 50, across midfield. Hare with authority runs past the 30, brought down within the 35-yard line. What a night, Case Hare. Again, he comes up big, a huge return. Fountain Lake's going to open up shop at the 33 of Centerpoint.
Offense, special teams, it is his night, Mark, and sure enough, he's got some bragging rights now after having not only some big-time yards on the ground, but also spectacular catches. That may be one of the catches of the week in the state of Arkansas.
It is, and I know it's on film, and I know Fountain Lake's already talking about, let's get that one clipped and send in quickly tonight.
Coach already talked to me about it at halftime. He said, I'm sending that one in.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Here's the handoff. Second team offense in for Fountain Lake here. And the handoff is going to get back to around the line of scrimmage here on the carry, number 29, Dason Rhodes.
And I want to give a little bit more credit. I mean, look, it's a great game so far, limited penalties, and the coach from Centerpoint, they're dressing out, guys, I'm telling you right now, they're dressing out 22 players.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give credit. And now he's cleared his bench also, and you know, because that's the way you're supposed to do it. And you got to give the guys some credit for that one.
Fountain Lake's backup quarterback is in, Eli Patman. 2nd down and 11. Here's the snap, handoff, Rhodes. Rhodes up the middle. Puts a helmet down on a couple of young men. Gets inside the 20. Cobra's back in the red zone to the 19.
Yeah, that's right. The Big Red Realty Red Zone. You can always get in touch with them. They're right there on Highway 7. If you're looking for real estate, the oldest real estate company around, 623-7905. That's Big Red Realty.
Fountain Lake looking for some real estate right here late in the third quarter, trying to find the end zone once again. 3rd down and 6 from the 19. Patman, handoff, Dason Rhodes. Rhodes met immediately by the Centerpoint Knights. Going to be brought down for what appears to be a loss of one. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th down.
Mark went to the well just a little too many times on that same play. But hey, look, the combination there, we're going to see that in the future. So hey, they've got to get used to it sooner or later. But this offensive line, I'm telling you right now, is holding their own.
It's 4th down. Fountain Lake's going to let the clock run out. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break. Final act coming up. Cobras lead big, 41-14 on 92.9 KVRE. We've reached the fourth quarter from Centerpoint High School tonight. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. River Oliver with us as well. Glad to have you with us tonight. No game next Friday night. Fountain Lake has the starters out here in this one with what they feel is the game in hand, and some great experience for these youngsters, a lot of these sophomores and juniors. Eli Patman and Dason Rhodes leading the offense, the quarterback and running back respectively here. 4th down as we start the fourth quarter. 4th and 6 from the 19 of Centerpoint. Patman calls for the ball. He'll rush up the middle, looking for the first down. He'll be just short. It'll be a turnover on downs at the 16-yard line. Gain of 3. Here comes the defense, and here comes the Centerpoint Knight offense.
Mark, I tell you what, though, I still like that play.
I do, too.
Two things it does. It gives encouragement to the quarterback on that fake draw sprint. And sure enough, there's 2 things that he can do with that. The fake handoff is one, and then go ahead and quarterback keeper. But also, he can stutter step and throw that little hitch pass like we've seen, of course, Cooper Bus do several times. But, man, what a combination right there, and a little incentive for him to come back out on the field. He's a leader.
Here comes Centerpoint, trying to add some more points to the scoreboard here on their home turf. Handoff, left-hand side, and some room to run for the running back. Borgensen is going to get out to the 23-yard line. Short gain for the RB.
Well, we've seen him catch them. We've seen him run them. We've seen him block. And so another one of those key players for the Centerpoint Knights.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Gain of 6 out to the 22-yard line for Borgensen. 2 carries tonight, 20 yards for the running back, Borgensen, including 1 touchdown. Centerpoint's going to line up in the shotgun. 2 wide left. Low snap. Throws across the middle. That pass is picked up by Cox. He will be wrestled down after getting the first down. That's just a young man that's really, really hard to knock down.
Man, I tell you what. And right now, I'm surprised he's back out on the field right now because
you're right.
You're obviously – I mean, he's doing all he can. He's keeping this team alive right now, but just on offense and defense, and they're going to call a penalty on that one.
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Fountain Lake, and I was just about to say, hey, Tracy, I've actually been able to keep track of the penalties tonight.
Okay, well, here's the deal, Mark. That right there, I'm not going to call that unsportsmanlike. He was going for the ball, okay? He was trailing the play and actually got tripped up on his own self and stumbled on top of the player after the play was over. And, yeah, I know he landed on him after the play, but that was a big-time mistake.
From the 45-yard line, 1st and 10, handoff Cox on the jet sweep, evading defenders. Cox brought down finally at the 40-yard line of Fountain Lake, and that's a pretty good gain there of 15 yards, pretty much just right down the throat.
Yeah, they're going to just keep giving him the rock as long as they know that our JV team's in. That's a senior. It's making his presence known, with a bunch of sophomores with limited time. But I'm going to tell you what, this gives these kids right now a little dose of what they're going to see when we get into conference play. So that's important for them to see a player of this caliber, Mark.
Dustin Cox's helmet was knocked off during the play. He's going to come out for a breather here. New set of downs for Centerpoint. Ball at the 39 of Fountain Lake, 1st and 10. Tony Valdez takes the snap, hit as he throws. That ball will be a fumble, and it's picked up by Michael O'Brien. O'Brien's going to take it to the house. He's got one man to beat. Can he get there? Tuck it in, O'Brien. Come on, man. Oh, just short. O'Brien brings it down to the 2-yard line. We've got flags everywhere.
Yeah, they're going to bring this one back, Mark. We had a block in the back. I mean, a little too much excitement right there, and it was definitely, you call it the old school clip, but a block in the back, and one of the officials, he's already marking it off, Mark. He's already got the balls. Look at him, he's marking it off.
Yeah, so a good scoop up by Michael O'Brien is going to be taken away here.
But still, ball should be turned over. That's still Fountain Lake's ball.
You're right.
That was after the fact.
It still will be Fountain Lake football here, and it is a great fumble. Boy, and the hit there did not. I mean, that ball shot 10 yards out of the other way.
Wait a minute.
Is this going to?
They're calling a personal foul on hitting the quarterback.
I still
what
think. What
in the world?
No, this is going to be the offense here. That Fountain Lake's still going to have the.
Yeah, the one official was marking first down for
Fountain Lake's still going to have. Yeah, it's a fumble. It's a fumble recovery all day long. Here comes the offense for Fountain Lake. Eli Patman and the boys out to see what they can do with it here with a new set of downs. 9:54 to play in the football game. Fountain Lake leading big, 41-14 over Centerpoint on the road. Patman in the shotgun. He's got some wide receivers out wide here. Patman's going to take it. Quarterback draw. Runs it right up the middle. Tick-tock goes the clock here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, a substantial gain right there. And sure enough, that quarterback draw is just something that, that they've gained some positive yardage on. And, if it's not broke, you don't have to fix it. Keep it going.
Well, I was in math class many moons ago, and I remember if you get 4 yards on every play, well, you're going to keep going down the field. Great gain on the quarterback keeper there.
You don't need my TI-55, Mark?
Stop it. Leave it in the pawn shop or the museum or wherever. Don't bring it next week because there's no game next week. But don't bring it in 2 weeks.
Oh, doggone it.
Handoff up the middle. This time it's Dason Rhodes on the carry. Gets out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 3. 3rd and 3 coming up for Fountain Lake.
And that's another thing right there. Dason wraps that ball up. I'm going to tell you what, he runs like a true fullback, keeps them legs going, and he's going to be an impact player for this Fountain Lake team down the road on offense. He already is on defense, obviously, but like one of those super sophomores that we've seen really grow up right in front of us. Number 51 comes off the play. One of the cramps, Mark.
Yeah. It's hot out there tonight. 3rd and 3, Fountain Lake at the 45 of the Cobras. Patman takes a high snap, and he's going to evade defenders. He'll gain 1 up the middle. That was a tough snap to bring in. It's 4th down and what appears to be 1.
Mark, now.
Gain of 2.
Okay, we've changed centers this week. Cooper Bus has, 4 inches on Patman, okay?
Yes.
And the snaps have been right in Cooper's about chin level, okay? And so it's been a little, right there on chin level. Well, for Patman, that's right at the top of his helmet. So it's a little bit different catch. But altogether, the offensive line's doing a real good job.
On 4th down, the Cobras will go for it. Patman calls for the ball, takes it himself, diving up the middle, looking for positive yards. No, he'll be stopped, and the Cobras are going to turn it over to the Knights at the Centerpoint 45.
Yep. Thought we might see a little bit of a pass right there, just to see what would happen.
I wouldn't mind seeing what his arm is capable of. I'll tell you, I'm interested, but I understand the game plan here. Cobras have not attempted a pass since the second team has come in. And Fountain Lake turns the ball over here with the game well in hand.
Yep, we're seeing these guys come out and getting real excited for play and wanting to. 41-14, Fountain Lake in control right now. And, Mark, this is one right now. Defense could come up big. It'd be special.
Tony Valdez and the Centerpoint Knights take the
There
snap,
it is.
handoff, Borgensen, and he's brought down for a loss. Michael O'Brien with a big stop.
And he says, top of the morning to you there, my man. He's coming in that play one too many times. That's been successful when, they've been going to number 0, of course, their big runner Cox. But that one went to number 5. And although he's had some big gains tonight, they read that one perfectly.
It'll be a loss of about 4 on the play for Centerpoint. Ball's going to be backed up to midfield. 7:10 and counting remaining in this football game tonight. The Knights are going to rush up to the line at the 50-yard line. Valdez sends a man in motion. Here's the handoff. Jet sweep to the left-hand side. For the first time tonight, it's Mario Ballard getting the carry. Ballard trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to give him 4 here. 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, they've tried that play with now 4 different running backs, and it's been positive for most of the night, but I think the coaches are starting to realize, they've got it down now. So the shift obviously has got it going, but the defense, on the other hand, hey, they've been on the sidelines watching it, so they know how to read it.
Trying to replace Corey Passmore, of course, the running back coming out due to injury. He's not on the sidelines, Tracy. He's out for the rest of the night. Here's a deep pass from Valdez, and that's intercepted. Cobras are going to pick it up going the other way. It's Keaton Canals. Canals at midfield. Oh, he's blindside hit there. Holds on to the football. But Canals coming up with a huge interception for the Cobras.
Turnover, what we were looking for, Mark, and sportsmanship right there after the huge hit by number 3. He came right back and then helped him up, Mark. Unbelievable sportsmanship. That's what we like to see out on the gridiron. This is a game, and right now you're seeing some really great sportsmanship between the two teams.
Yeah, I love it, Tracy. It's been a great night for football here tonight. 47-yard line of Centerpoint. That's where the Cobras will open up shop. Here comes Eli Patman and the Cobras. Great job by Canals on the interception for Fountain Lake. And whistles will blow. Timeout, Fountain Lake. They rushed out a little bit too late. They were going to have to take a delay of game. We'll take a break with them. 6:01 to play in the football game. Cobras lead it by 27. Back in a moment on KVRE. Back here in the fourth quarter, 6:01 to play in the football game. The Cobras have the football on the Centerpoint Knights 47-yard line. I'm Mark Oliver. He's Tracy Simpson. Eli Patman in the shotgun for Fountain Lake. He'll take the snap, and he'll take the quarterback draw right up the middle. Good positive yardage. Gain of 2 for Patman as he gets down to the 45-yard line. Looks like they'll back him up 1. Gain of 1 to the 46.
Yep, right now, and obviously, they're wanting to march down. Of course, they want to score, but they also want to get this first down right now. And like you said, Mark, tick-tock, how's it go?
Tick-tock goes the clock. 46-yard line, 5:30 to go in this one. Fountain Lake's going to go to 2-1 on the young season. Patman in the shotgun, 2 wide left, 1 wide right. Would love to see the arm here, and we might. Quarterback draw. Patman's going to be sacked. Hesitated just a little bit too long there, and that's okay. Sometimes you got to take a hit to learn a lesson. Patman's going to bounce back in a big way. He's up, and he's fine. And he's going to come over to the sideline to get the call from Coach Matt Richardson. 3rd down, Fountain Lake. And if anything, hey, it keeps the clock rolling. That's the mission right now. And Fountain Lake looking to take the next 5 minutes and go home happy. The buses are already started across the way here at Centerpoint High School.
Mark, what you like about that, though, is he could have just chunked that ball up. And that right there is more football sense because more than likely it would have been picked off.
You're right.
He took the sack, and like you said, kept the clock going.
On 3rd down and long, Patman, the snap, throws across the middle, and there's a catch. Patman with a pitch and catch over to the right-hand side. I believe that one is picked up. Let's see, number 16 for Fountain Lake. It's Kyler Calicote again. Nice gain there of about 7 yards. Patman with the first pass and catch of his Cobra career.
Little lefty jaunt right across the middle.
And now the Cobras are going to punt it away on 4th down. We'll see Cooper Buss for the first time in a while. He's also the team's punter. Fountain Lake going to give the ball back over to Centerpoint here. And I don't hate the move either.
No, let's pin them back deep. And they're bringing the house, though, Mark. Or they actually think we're going to fake it.
Here's the snap. Back to Buss. Punt is on its way.
Woo,
it's a deep kick.
Man,
bounces
bomb.
around the 12-yard line.
Williams.
Devin Williams is going to grab it at the 10-yard line. That one could have went a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Mr. Special Teams, though, you know, he's going to.
I honestly think, Tracy, it may even just be a sportsmanship move here. Nobody's trying to, run up the clock or start the sportsmanship clock. No one's trying to rub anything in tonight. It's been a relatively clean football game. I know some of you guys are like super superstitious out there. There's 3:41 left in the football game. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This has been one of the best football games Fountain Lake has played in terms of penalties. Maybe in a long time. It's been a very clean sheet tonight.
I concur.
Here's the snap. Handoff. Running back. Cox on the move. No, excuse me. It's Borgensen on the move past the 20 out to the 22-yard line. Nice little gain there for Centerpoint. Give him 5.
Mark, right now, I know that Centerpoint's wanting to try to get in all the players they can, too. I think you're, for the most part, seeing their basic starters. You're seeing them, on the sidelines right now because they've got a big season ahead of them also.
They sure do. Of course, they've got another game next week. Fountain Lake will take a break next week. And it's a long road, and we hope that everybody stays healthy, both Fountain Lake and Centerpoint, going forward. All right, 2nd down and short here. Pitch out to the right-hand side. And
Nick,
incomplete is the pass. And great defense, Nick Lester. Lester has had himself quite a night here in the second half tonight.
Mark, I saw him at halftime in the locker room, and I told him, I said, look, we're getting there. We're getting there. Are you ready? He said, I'm ready, Coach. I am ready. He is stuck
with shining brightly under the Friday night lights tonight.
Mark, he has been a trooper. He has played this sport now a long time, and he just loves he's got a passion for it and to get out there and he enjoys the game, and that's what it's all about.
3rd down and 4, Centerpoint. Handoff, Dotson on the left-hand side, and he'll rush forward and pick up the 1st down just past the 25-yard line, move the chains.
Hey, big tackle right there coming up. Aiden Grimm on the tackle, and sure enough, we're getting some other names called tonight. Big tackles coming up in and out of there.
Ball's at the 29 is Centerpoint. The Knights continuing to move the football here and trying to punch another score in on the scoreboard before this one's over tonight. Fountain Lake leading big, 41-14, with 2:30 to go in the football game. Here's the snap
Ball's
and the
on the
handoff.
ground.
The ball's on the ground. I think the Cobras have it, Tracy. Falling on top of the football is Fountain Lake, and another big fumble recovery for Fountain Lake.
Oh, my goodness. Number 89, Mark, is coming up for that right there. And sure enough.
What a big play for Fountain Lake defensively. I believe, let me go back to my sheet here. I believe that's the third fumble recovery tonight for Fountain Lake in this one. We've seen an interception. We've seen multiple sacks tonight. A real big coming out party for the defense tonight.
Well, at 41-14, like you said, Mark, it's something, turn out the lights, party's over. But I know this second-team offense would love to push one in.
A first down could almost seal it here. Here's the handoff, and this is Anderson Davis. Davis gets the carry, 15-yard line, and he'll be brought out. Looks like the 16. Not a bad gain there. 7 yards on the carry by Davis.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has a little bit of a different look in the backfield, whereas you got, Dyson, he's a north and south. Anderson brings that east and west running to the field, and sure enough, a big-time gain there.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Football's going to be at the 16-yard line of Centerpoint. Clock rolling, 2:07 and counting. Eli Patman, the quarterback for Fountain Lake. Davis, the running back, by his side. The snap. Patman, quarterback draw. Right up the middle, not afraid to take a hit. Crashes down near the 11-yard line for a gain of 5.
Real close, and they're going to move the chains, and that it's supposed to stop the clock, but they didn't do it on first down. But but that makes it into the Big Red Realty red zone.
And I'm seeing full-scale substitutions for Fountain Lake. This is the first-team offense coming back out.
Wow.
Buss, Harwood, Williams,
They're
and
going to
Hare.
down it. They're going to down the
That's
ball.
exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go in victory formation here. 1:19 to go. That's exactly what they're going to do. Buss is ready to take a knee. Here's the snap. There's the knee. And Fountain Lake will only have to do that maybe once or twice more to put this one in the books.
Yep, sure enough. And
hats off to Coach Matt Richardson. A lot of respect in this one tonight. Of course, I know Coach Richardson and Coach Rogers know each other well.
And I'm going to tell you what, their fan base here for Centerpoint has been special. They came out tonight, and sure enough, the band was out there giving it all they got. But even on a hot night like this, that's what it's all about on Friday night under the lights.
Buss is going to take another knee, and that one should do it. Here from Centerpoint High School. Your final score in this one, Fountain Lake 41, Centerpoint 14. We'll take a break, and we'll come back to wrap things up. The Cobras move to 2-1 on the 2025 season. Back in a moment, 92.9 KVRE. Final score in this one, Fountain Lake comes up with its second win of the season, matching last season's win total, 41-14. The Cobras come out strong and really never looked back. They scored on their first 5 possessions of the football game. Offense looked great. Defense had its best night of the season, and I think that this was exactly what Fountain Lake hoped for going into the bye week coming up next week.
Yeah, Mark, and just like you said, they never did look back. They just kept going and going and going, and sure enough, they put it all together. It was a complete game, and yeah, the pass was what it is and what we've come to see. They really know how to air it out. But then again, the running game too, though. We saw some highlights there, and whether it was Harness or Hare or, of course, Williams. And then what about that scamper by Cooper Buss for a touchdown? So, they say the run sets up the pass. Well, in our area, the pass sets up the run, and it worked out tonight. Defense was stingy. They gave up a couple of those big plays, of course, on some of those trick plays, the counters and such. But other than that, they played a complete game, had some really good turnovers when they needed it, and overall it was a pretty good game.
Next week, we will be on a bye week. Enjoy your Friday night and make sure that these young men that have worked so hard out there get some well-deserved time off as well. We're super proud of this team and their progress this year. And don't forget, our Facebook fan vote for our featured Cobra Player of the Week will go live this weekend on our Facebook page, facebook.com/FLRadio. We're excited to see who you choose as our next Clampett's Country Kitchen and Meat Market featured Cobra player. Tracy, anybody that you'd like to say hello to tonight?
Yeah, I do, Mark. A lot of them, but I'm going to tell you right now, great job on this 50th anniversary we've got, too, man, coming up. Some great interviews, and we've got much, much more of those to come. Mark's doing a great job on that, and got to give you credit on that. And, hey, don't forget now, next week, now we'll have our Friday morning with that featured Cobra and the Coach's Corner. Don't miss out on that ever. 7:20 on Friday mornings, live at 92.9 with me and Mark joining me, and we'll look at the other games. But big congratulations to the Cobras tonight, a complete game. Thanks, hey, Grandpa Jim, all the way out in California, Steve down in Texas, and all parts in between, Doug and Chris and everybody else, and, of course, all of our great help back at the studio. And Wendy, yes, thank you for staying up this late once again.
Special thank you to my lovely wife, the beautiful Mrs. Hannah Oliver, my 3 wonderful boys, Michael and Ben, back home, and River here in the booth with us tonight. River, who would you like to say hello to tonight?
Everybody.
Everybody in the world. He's River Oliver. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Special thank you to John Chapman back in the studio. This has been Fountain Lake football, where the Cobras win 41-14. So long from Centerpoint. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for homecoming against the Bauxite Miners and 7-4A conference play. This is Fountain Lake football, 92.9 KVRE. Good night.
Good night.